Oprah Winfrey, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs. These are some of the largest personal brands in human history in terms of name recognition and their global impact. They've all built multiple brands, but it's their personal brand that we remember. Now, imagine you walking through a grocery store and having someone come up to you and say, "I saw you on YouTube and your video changed my life." That is personal branding. People start to know you personally rather than the products and the services that you sell. Remember, people want to do business with people. And right now, with all of the digital tools at your fingertips, there's no better time to go all in on personal branding. But you're probably asking, well, how do I even get started with a personal brand? In this episode, Sean sits down with Chris Ducker, who's a #1 best-selling author and the creator of Youpreneur. He is the leading expert when it comes to understanding the 3-step process to creating a powerful and effective personal brand, and he's breaking down each step for you so you can get clear on what your next move is. And make sure you stick around until the end, where Chris shares the no-miss way to making money right now with your personal brand. Also, if you know a business owner in your life who needs to hear this, make sure to share it with them. Welcome to the Think Marketing Podcast, the #1 podcast for growing and scaling your business with online video. I'm Heather Torres.
And I'm Sean Cannell, and we're from Think Media. And if this is your first time listening, welcome.
This show is dedicated to helping you learn how to get your content noticed and the latest money-making strategies working right now online. So whether you want to grow your YouTube channel or you want to maximize video across all of social media, this podcast is for you.
Tax Act knows you might run into questions while filing your small business taxes, so we have experts on hand whose job it is to know everything about taxes. They do that job so the rest of us don't have to. Heroes. Tax Act. Let's get them over with.
Hey, welcome back to the Think Marketing Podcast. Sean Cannell here, and I'm sitting with Chris Ducker. I'm fired up to have him on the show. Author of The Rise of the Youpreneur, serial entrepreneur, runs multiple different businesses, over 300 different team members, and really is powerful at helping us as business owners and entrepreneurs develop a powerful personal brand and monetize it. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this session. But Chris, not only am I fired up that you're on the Think Marketing Podcast, I'm fired up that you're speaking at Grow with Video Live this year in September, and we'll talk about that later. But for those that are just meeting you, man, what's kind of your backstory in business and entrepreneurship and kind of how you help people?
Man, how long you got? I often say that, honestly, at the very core of what I do, I'm just a sales guy. Genuinely. My entire world in terms of my career has been around sales and marketing ever since I was 17 years old. I had my first telemarketing job, and from there I've worked with large teams, small teams. I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years. We've built several different businesses, a couple of which have flopped horrifically, and some of them have done very, very well indeed. And so now what I focus on is helping people build businesses, future-proof businesses, profitable businesses based around their personal brand, and really what they love doing and what they're great at doing.
Yeah, I'm fired up about this topic. And first of all, to get into it, I want to talk to kind of two different types of people in the Think community. On the one hand, we've got people that are already kind of clear on the fact that they want to tap into being a thought leader, an author, speaker, maybe create courses, turn their knowledge into a business. And so they're already kind of there. But then we also have this whole community of business owners that are realizing that as a business owner, they've got their thing. They might even be brick and mortar. But that they're like, man, do I need to build a personal brand? Is this social media thing for me different than just putting up an account for my business, for my local shop, for me as a real estate agent? So let's just kind of unpack why personal branding and why does it matter to the Think community?
Look, at the end of the day, we all have a personal brand. It's called our reputation. That's just fact. Whether you identify with it as a personal brand is obviously something we got to work on, right? The reason why it's important is because I believe at this point in history, we are more likely, way more turned on and more excited and more fired up about working with other people, more so than ever before in the history of the world. Plain simple. People want to do business with other people. We don't necessarily want to do business with big brands, actually. Some of us don't have a problem doing it, but do we really, like, that human connection, I think, is being, you know, the thirst for that human connection is deeper than it's ever been before. Because here we are in a very hyper-connected world, more so than ever, yet we've never been more disconnected as a human race.
Yeah.
And I think that in itself screams personal branding, screams relationship building, and relationships are the single most important thing in business, in life, period.
So if you were sitting down at kitchen table talk, not classroom, not, you know, someone who's just getting into this idea of personal branding, what do you think that means in the first actions? Like, how could someone do an audit if they're saying, okay, well, do I have a personal brand? I mean, I know it's my reputation, but let's talk about online.
Yeah.
What's sort of the lens that you'd be thinking about for getting your personal brand in order?
Well, first and foremost, you've got to figure out who you are and what you want to be known for. Like, that's key, because it all begins with that one thing. So you've got to define who you are, plain simple. So the three big questions: number one, who am I? Like, what am I good at? Secondly, what do I actually want to be known for? That's a big one.
Yeah.
Because you might be really good at something, but you might not actually want to be known for it. There might be something else, right? Something you're passionate about, something that you're kind of good at, but you need to work on a little bit more. And then lastly, not to get too deep or too rah-rah, it's legacy. You know, what do you want to be remembered for? And this is just very, you know, like super recent, you know, news and history with the death of Kobe Bryant. And here I am sitting here as a Celtics fan, giving a Laker all the love in the world. As a father, I knew he had kids, but and it's sad to a certain degree, he passes away at a very, very young age. Yet we don't really get to know the man until he's no longer with us. So he might be known for his accomplishments on the basketball court, but will he be remembered just as a basketball player? No. He'll be remembered as a dad and as a husband, a philanthropist, and somebody who wanted to help girls' sports and all that kind of stuff. So it can get quite deep. You know, like, you can go as deep as you want to go with it. But really, the first step, Sean, if you don't know who you are and what you want to be known for, that's the end of the journey right there. You've got to figure out what you want to be known for and how to define yourself.
That's powerful, and I love also that you ultimately bring it to legacy. That's one of the huge values of our event, of our company, where we want to be like, we realize we think we're in the biggest era to impact others.
Totally.
Which, it's just the internet, it's social media, it's the fact of interconnectivity that we have opportunities now that just didn't exist before, and we're seeing it happen. I mean, we just hit 1 million subscribers on Think Media. I'm a small town kid.
Dude, that's rocking.
College dropout.
I love that.
Started shooting videos in my bedroom.
Yes.
We're connected. We're connected. If you're listening to this, we're connected. I mean, because of social media, podcasting, YouTube. So what's really step 2, though? Once you've got that kind of dialed in, what do you want to do next to establish your personal brand? Maybe picking platforms. Is that where you go next, or is there a step before?
There's a step before that as well. So step number 2 is to figure out who you want to serve. So now you've figured out who I am, what I want to be known for. Step 2, figure out who I'm going to serve. So who is your perfect customer? Who's your perfect avatar, to use a cool trendy word, right? Ultimately, it's your perfect customer. Because yes, we want to serve people. We want to help people. We want to inspire and motivate people, but we're building a business, right? We need to make money as well. So it's a perfect customer is what it is. Not an avatar, it's a customer.
Yeah.
And you've got to build that out. What problems are they having that I got solutions for or can create solutions for? Number 2, what questions roll around in their head when they're trying to go to sleep at night that they need answers to that I got? I'm going to serve those answers up. And once you know what's going on in regards to those 2 things right there, you can figure out who that perfect customer is. And then it goes on to
step 3.
Step 3, platforms, how I'm going to reach them, where are they going to find me, what am I going to do to turn them on, how, you know, give me a reason to become somebody's favorite.
Yeah.
That's the big one right there.
And that makes sense, because once you know who you're trying to reach, now you want to pick the best platforms to reach that type of person.
It makes everything so much easier when you know who you're talking to. Your messaging, your verbiage, all of your marketing copy, just even actually the way your website looks, the type of logo you have. Once you know who you're serving, everything becomes so much easier. And why swim against the current unless you really need to, right?
Yes.
So, now we're kind of, I was literally just doing a coaching session with 20, 30 people just an hour ago. And the big question was like, well, there was a lady there who is involved in t-shirt printing and apparel for millennials. Where do I go to hang out? I said Instagram and YouTube. That's where the millennials are hanging out. It's as simple as that. Oh, you don't think LinkedIn? I'm not buying t-shirts on LinkedIn.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it really comes down to what you're going to be known for, who you're going to be serving, and where they're hanging out. And once you figure that out, you can do likewise.
In celebration of the launch of this brand new podcast, we're giving away 2 tickets to our annual conference, Grow with Video Live, a $1,500 value.
All you have to do to enter is make sure you subscribe, leave us a review on Apple Podcast, and then take a screenshot of your review and go to thinkmarketingshow.com for the rest of the details. Super, super powerful. And I'm excited to get into some tips of maybe what you see as the opportunity now to get some of those views or to get some of those hot things that maybe you're doing in your own business. But I want to remind you, Chris is speaking at Grow with Video Live 2020, growwithvideolive.com. If you haven't got your tickets yet, you're not going to want to miss this event. The speaker lineup is insane. So go to growwithvideolive.com to see everyone who is coming. 3 days, and it's really going to be all about every aspect of video, because I really believe video is now cross-platform. Video is people's preferred content format of choice.
Yes.
LinkedIn has video, YouTube has video,
Yes.
of course live streaming on Twitch, but Instagram has video, Facebook has stories and live streaming and video. And so we're going to be talking about video, whether it's the tech side, whether it's the scripting your videos, what should you say in your content and psychology side. We're going to be talking about the technical side, how do you rank your videos, and SEO. And we have guest speakers that are doing video on so many different platforms in so many different ways. What kind of tactical things are you up to right now? Maybe just in your own business. I know you're taking YouTube seriously, and that's...
Oh man, I should say, I'm excited about going to this event for myself, like just for selfish reasons right now, because I've been on YouTube for a decade. But I haven't genuinely taken it all that seriously up until maybe just a few months ago. Genuinely.
Yeah.
It was like the video graveyard where we would just kind of dump stuff that we wanted to kind of embed elsewhere kind of thing.
Yeah.
And now we're taking it much more seriously. And, it comes with no shock to the system to know that with that added focus that we've unleashed onto the channel since the beginning of this year, more subscribers than ever before, more views than ever before. We've even got older videos with affiliate links in the descriptions that are making us money now for the first time in like years.
Because they've been reactivated by the new action that you're doing on the channel.
Exactly. So I'm excited to come to the event just to hang out and learn myself. It'll be a pleasure to speak, don't get me wrong, but I'm coming to learn as well. But I think, for me, the big thing for me is that, it also comes down to the repurposing side of things, because it's very, very, very hard to be everywhere all the time, right? If you start with video, however, everything from there becomes easier. You can rip the audio out and turn it into an audio podcast. You can, rip certain sections out of the video, 2 minutes here, a minute there, 30 seconds there, and share them all over social. And it's about spreading a message at the end of the day. You might be interested in sitting down and watching a 45-minute chat with me on how I built multiple businesses. But there might be somebody else out there that just needs 2 minutes of content from me to light the fire under their bottom that they need to be able to go ahead and do what they need to do to take things to the next level. Everyone's different, and that's why I love video as a format, is because you can chop and change it in so many different ways. Turn it into an infographic, done. Turn it into a blog post, done. Turn it into a slide deck, done. There's so many different options with it, and I think that's why it's so exciting. It's a very, very exciting time.
And it's not even the topic of today's conversation, but
No.
when you get into repurposing
Yeah.
or going multi-platform, you come into the quandary of, well, how am I going to sustain that myself? And you're the expert on virtual staffing, right?
Yes.
You wrote the book, Virtual Freedom.
Yes.
And so, of course, check out the description below. The Rise of the Upreneur, Virtual Freedom, like your resources are all time and world class. And so anyways, we're not going to get into that now. That's why you got to come to Grow a Video. Because,
Yeah, that's part 2, 3, and 4.
yeah, because you need help. Like you
Yes.
take that top of, if you will, pyramid kind of content that then trickles down. Who's editing that and those types of things. But I want to talk about next monetization, because I think there's the power with personal branding, not just to grow your existing business. When you have a powerful personal brand, you're going to get more clients, customers. You're going to have more goodwill. Business is done with people who know, like, and trust you. So when you have a strong personal brand, no matter what your business is, it's going to help. But the power of the era we're living in is you can also monetize your personal brand in multiple ways. What are some of the things and opportunities that exist for us as we build our personal brand?
I mean, like, here's the thing. There are, way more opportunities today to monetize our expertise than we've ever had before. And the very, very easiest way to be able to do it is about picking that low-hanging fruit of coaching and consulting. Now, it's not the most scalable model, obviously, right? But the fact of the matter is that there are people out there that will be more than happy to pay to access your experience, download it from your brain, and put it into theirs to fast-track their own journey. So coaching and consulting, not scalable, no, but a great way to start monetizing pretty much out of the gate. Because if you're an expert in something, it doesn't matter what it is. Let's say, for example, you've been on LinkedIn for 15 years and you've been helping people build out their LinkedIn profiles and their presence on LinkedIn. You're an expert on LinkedIn. There are people who would be happy to pay $500, $600, $700 an hour to sit with you to learn how to do that to further their careers.
To get 15 years compressed into 50 minutes.
Absolutely. That's what it's about. So coaching and consulting, number one, lowest hanging monetization fruit, hands down. Secondly, if you're an expert, the chances are you're creating content to prove that, right? To build your tribe, to build your community, to spread your message. So obviously, with a little bit of luck, you're being smart and you're building an email list along the same time. Affiliate marketing. Drop some of those affiliate links. You do this beautifully yourself. Drop some of those affiliate links to gear or to services or products. Be careful not to do it just to anything. Obviously, a little integrity will go a long way. But if you utilize the product before or you enjoy a service that you use regularly, you can easily drop that in there. Talk about it. Talk about the benefits of using that product or service. And people, because they trust you, as you said, they're more likely to click on that link that you provided them and buy through you than they are just to go to Amazon and search for it randomly, right? Number 3. We'll keep going here. Number 3 is really digital content. This is where it does get very scalable, because you create an online course once, as you well know, and you sell it over and over and over and over again. Now, whether it's a mini course, kind of like an entry-level type product, 5 videos, $500, or whether it's a flagship course of 20 different videos and modules, printouts, and all the rest of it for $2,000 or something. It doesn't really matter what it is. It can be anything in between any of that. But the fact is, this is experience, this is know-how, these are tips, tactics, strategies that really work for the people that you're wanting to inspire and help. And you put that into a digital format and ultimately turn that into an online course, and you sell it all day long. That's truly scalable. Every personal brand entrepreneur better have an online course, because there are going to be probably a good 20 to 25% of the people that come into contact with them are going to be ripe to buy that course at some point in their journey.
Yeah, and here at Think Marketing Podcast is one of the things we're the biggest fan of. I mean, the e-learning industry.
Oh, yeah.
And there's, of course, the article by Forbes that by 2025, it's going to be nearly $1 billion a day industry.
Crazy.
$1 billion a day.
When I saw that statistic, I almost spat out my coffee.
Right?
I couldn't believe a day.
And that's what we're looking at over the next 5 years. We're looking at over this opportunity that people are now realizing that education is being flipped upside down. It's being decentralized, and we're empowered as individuals to help people with what we've learned, help them learn from our mistakes, help them go further, faster, package our knowledge into a digital course. And it's one of our favorite ways to monetize because of there's all the perks. I mean, even you're not shipping or returning anything, so you don't have a garage full of books.
So good.
Or products that have malfunctioned and you have to worry about a shipping container from China that just has some moisture in it or something.
Right.
Refunds are easy to do and interaction, it's digital.
Not to mention the fact, though, from the person who buys the course, it's digital. They can access it anywhere in the world on any device. They can watch it when they're on an airplane or traveling by train.
Get
or
it instantly.
at home
They don't have
or
to wait
whatever.
for shipping.
Yep.
Yeah, so
it's huge.
There's so many benefits and perks, and it's just one of the income streams. One of our community members in our Inner Circle program, where we talk a lot about how to build an online course, is McCain Dogs. Big YouTube channel, helping people to get their dogs to sit, heel, stop peeing on the carpet.
I need them to come to my house.
You need them to come train your dog. They've got 70 employees. They've got where they're locally training dogs, but they've also then packaged their expertise in an online course, which is just another income stream and something that they can continue to scale up to give them either more profitability, more impact, global reach.
Yep.
And so it is our belief, we agree with you 100%, that every single personal brand business owner should highly consider creating a digital course of their knowledge and expertise.
Absolutely, and it really just comes, like, people overthink this so much, and it really comes down to just surveying your audience, find out where the pain points are, ask one very simple question: what are you struggling with right now? Looking at the information, because that's an open-ended question. Mm-hmm. That's not a close-ended yes, no, tomorrow, today, Monday, Tuesday type question. That's an open-ended question. Open-ended questions open up the floodgates to information. Once you've got information, as we all know, it's one of the most valuable commodities on the planet. You can genuinely go ahead and you can take that information to one side and you can figure out how to best solve that problem for that person. And at the very core of what we do as entrepreneurs, as content creators, as people that we genuinely want to inspire and help other people out there, at the very core of what we do, we're just problem solvers. Don't have any delusions of grandeur. That's all we're really doing.
That's it.
Is solving people's problems. And if we do it the right way, we get the opportunity to put a price tag on it.
Man, I love it. Hey, you got to get your tickets to Grow a Video Live so you can hear Chris speak and connect with him. He's going to be hanging out at the conference. He's just a vault of incredible knowledge. But if people want to connect with you, where can they find you online? And of course, we'll link up to your books and other resources.
Well, I'm at Chris Ducker on all the socials. The two channels I use the most, without a doubt, are Instagram and now YouTube. You'll be happy to know. ChrisDucker.com, youpreneur.com, and just Google me. I'm a personal brand entrepreneur. If I don't own the first page of Google, then there's a problem.
There's a problem. I love that. Hey, final word of encouragement too. As an entrepreneur, some people listening, some are in their legacy years, they've built businesses, some are just starting, and entrepreneurship's a roller coaster. And you've been at the highs and the lows. Can you just kind of close us off with some wisdom, kind of encouragement for persisting through every stage of entrepreneurship?
Look, the fact is that it ain't an easy journey, man. There have been nights where I have laid awake, as you probably have as well, worrying, stressing, crying sometimes. And then there's been times where I'm jumping up and down like a 12-year-old schoolgirl, and just loving life, right? The fact of the matter is, I'm a big believer in this, particularly as somebody who's all about personal brand and, empowering other people to take the steps forward they need to be able to go ahead and do likewise with their community. And I will say this: be uniquely and unapologetically you all the time. Because the world really, truly, honestly does need what only you can bring to it. I don't care what industry you're in, who your competitors are, or who you think they are. It doesn't matter. Just be you all the time. And what happens is you'll market like a magnet. The right people will come into your ecosystem, and at the very same time, you will reject the people and repel the other people away. They're the people we don't want in our ecosystem. So just be you all the time.
Wow. Personal branding, Sean. That was such an amazing podcast. And it made me realize I need to get to work on my personal brand even more after listening to that with Chris.
Yeah, I love Chris so much. And what's cool about that episode and Chris himself is that, when it comes to personal branding, sometimes I think it gets a bad rap. You think of personal branding, you think, oh yeah, those Instagram influencers that are just all about themselves and all they do is work with companies that they don't really believe in or whatever. But we're really seeing that, no, personal branding is for every business owner, every entrepreneur. And Chris is such an authority to teach on that. I mean, he's launched multiple businesses, had huge successes, huge failures. Now he has almost like 300 employees and he's running multiple different ventures. And so I think he's just such an authority on the fact that it doesn't matter if you want to be a course creator, coach, consultant, kind of network marketer, personal brand entrepreneur, or if you want to be like one of our other Think Marketing podcast guests and Grow with Video Live speakers, Roger Wakefield, who's got a plumbing business in Dallas. He's got a team, but he understands the power of personal branding. And what's happening in his business is distinctly accelerating him past the competition because they're ignoring personal branding. I'd say this, Think Marketing podcast community, if you ignore personal branding, it'll be to your own detriment and peril, especially in this decade. It's the era of all of us needing a personal brand, our reputation. And so, yeah, I love Chris. And I'm so pumped that he's going to be speaking at Grow with Video Live this year.
Yeah, I cannot wait to sit in Chris's session, take notes, because he's going to be teaching more about, you know, like you said, how he's been growing these businesses and really how to scale.
Yes. And also remember that here at the Think Marketing podcast, we don't just listen, but we take action. You know, information is okay, but execution is where things really begin to happen. So write down one of your next steps. Like, what's a takeaway for you? Is it to really think about the questions that Chris Ducker outlined? What problem do you solve? Who is it that you help? Those types of things. And to get clear, maybe update your Instagram bio, your YouTube channel about page. Maybe tweak your strategy. Put something on paper, put it on your calendar, and let's get some results. Because, hey, we're committed to helping you get results, but you have to take massive action to do so.
And while you're writing that out, we just want to shout out one of our Think Marketing community members who left a review on the podcast. You know, you can go right now to Apple iTunes and submit a review. And so we're going to read what Daniel wrote today.
Yes. Daniel said this: please do yourself a favor and subscribe to this podcast. I have been a longtime subscriber of Think Media, and the value you get from Sean and his team is incredible. You could easily spend thousands and thousands of dollars on other courses and classes to get the same value they provide. If you're looking to up-level your business, this is where you need to be.
Wow. Thank you so much, Daniel. That is an amazing review. I love reading all the reviews that you're leaving here at the Think Marketing podcast. And if you're not already a subscriber and you don't know we're showing up every single week, you can subscribe right now on YouTube if you're watching this video, or on iTunes, or anywhere that you listen to your podcast. And we would love to hear from you in the comment section below. Let us know what was one takeaway that you got from this video, and we cannot wait to see you in the next episode.
Peace.
iPhone 16e has the best battery life for an iPhone this size, so nothing's stopping you from getting the high score, except the stairs, benches, and rails. iPhone 16e, latest iPhone, greatest price.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade, is it in you?
Are you stuck trying to grow on YouTube? Are you struggling to figure out, how do I make all of this work? And how do I actually make money? Well, if you answered yes to either of those questions, then I am so excited for you to listen to today's episode. Now, here at Think Media, we just finished a free 7-day YouTube Influence Challenge. And during that challenge, we had tens of thousands of creators just like you listening in on these sessions. And the session we're bringing you today was one of the most talked about sessions throughout the entire 7 days. And in this session, Sean is going to be breaking down how to find the right niche for you, his 3P plan for success on YouTube, and if the content you're making right now is the right content for you. I am so fired up for you to listen to this session. Now it's the time to lean in, time to take notes, because I cannot wait for you to have success on YouTube after this session. Welcome to the Think Marketing Podcast, the #1 podcast for growing and scaling your business with online video. I'm Heather Torres.
And I'm Sean Cannell, and we're from Think Media. And if this is your first time listening, welcome.
This show is dedicated to helping you learn how to get your content noticed and the latest money-making strategies working right now online. So whether you want to grow your YouTube channel or you want to maximize video across all of social media, this podcast is for you.
Get ready, because we are diving straight into the content right now. And what we're going to be talking about is session number 2. And this session is all about the best way to make money and make a difference with your YouTube channel. But when we start this off, we first have to bust a couple YouTube myths. And, in this challenge, there's probably a few things we need to talk about in terms of, Sean, it's 2020, man. Has the YouTube ship sailed? YouTube's 15 years old. You go, I got a 15-year-old in my house, and she's crazy. He's acting crazy. I don't know if I could. He's 15, man. 15 years old. Is it too late to start YouTube? Is it still possible to break through on YouTube? And that's one of the big elephants in the room, YouTube kind of culture in general. It's like, is it too late? Like, is it too crowded? So I looked up a couple examples, and this is Janelle Elena, right? And you may have heard her story. She joined YouTube at the end of 2018. She has 22 total videos posted, and she's at 2.3 million subscribers. She didn't start in 2005. She didn't start in 2010. She didn't start in 2015. She started less than 2 years ago, and her channel absolutely exploded on kind of some entertainment vlog type stuff, right? So are people still starting from scratch and growing? Yes, but it's not just like crazy examples like that, right? You're like, okay, well, she's kind of a unicorn. All right. Well, maybe you've heard of Joanne Sedia, right? She's got 1 million subscribers in 3 months. Similar, again, kind of being quirky, kind of being herself. At the time when she really started her channel, she was 18 years old, Canadian YouTuber who films all of her videos, my friends, with her phone, right? And really kind of her niche and style of stuff was just being different. She's being herself. She's being a little bit weird, being opposite, kind of like covering meme stuff. And she was definitely doing some smart influence and trend surfing, which is what we'll talk about more in the future. Like she DIY'd Emma Chamberlain's clothing line and some other topics, but she's at 3.2 million subscribers now. And again, she started just recently and grew very fast. You remember from the first session, maybe Dr. Eye Health. Now this is one of our Video Ranking Academy students, like started from scratch, no camera experience, no editing experience. And really, he's been on YouTube for less than 2 years. In 1 year's time, he had 100,000 subscribers. Now he's at 150,000 subscribers. 14,000 new people are subscribing to his channel a month. And he posts 5 videos a month, about 1 a week. I think one of the powerful things I like about Dr. Eye Health is it's really clear what his channel's all about, right? It's powerful to have that niche. And we're going to talk about that in this session. This is Plants and Lucia. I remember when she joined Video Ranking Academy, she had nothing, like 0 subscribers. I remember when she had 168 subscribers. Now she's at 6,400 and she's getting 51,000 subscribers a month, right? She posts about 2 videos a week, and she's growing by 1,300 new subscribers a week. And she started, February 2019. So she started basically a year and 2 months ago. Like, obviously, I'm not sharing anybody that started a month ago because this stuff doesn't happen overnight. But in just a year, like imagine if you're starting from scratch, you're getting 1,390 new subscribers a month, right? Imagine you start you're getting 51,000 views a month. And so what's cool is we showed Janelle Elena. And sometimes I might be like, well, man, I don't think that's impossible. This is more practical than you could ever imagine. Is it too late to start YouTube, my friends? Absolutely not. And notice these are people from different backgrounds. They live at different places in the world, different styles of channels. Maybe you've heard of Roger Wakefield. We had him on the Think Marketing podcast, and he's one of the speakers at our event called Grow with Video Live happening later this year. The Expert Plumber. 4,100 new subs a month. He's at 37,000 subscribers. 345,000 views a month. What's crazy, right, is as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, he's got a plumbing business in Dallas. His plumbing business was doing great. but he had a marketing company. He's paying him thousands a month. Well, they weren't even really getting results, as a lot of marketing companies really do. They just like pretend like they're doing stuff to your website, and they kind of will spend your money on ads and then like pretend they get you leads. And you're always like, are they even working? But as a business owner, he's like, you know what? I'm going to just fire my marketing company. I'm going to go all in on YouTube. He hired his son to help film the videos and to post the videos online and whatnot, and to apply our trainings to the videos, right? And now his channel has just been exploding. It's just been growing. And not only has he had more business than he can handle, but he's building entirely new income streams, right? And so this is the power of, and he started very recently. He actually set up his channel a while ago, put a bunch of the wrong videos on YouTube. He had the wrong videos. He wasn't consistent. But when he pivoted his strategy and he started to do YouTube right, and when he started to post the right videos, everything changed. You know, Nicole, Kids OT Help, she is a kids occupational therapist. And she has really been on YouTube for about 2 years, you know, the last like focused. But now she's at 70,000 subscribers. She gets almost 300,000 views a month, and 4,600 new moms are subscribing to her channel every single month. Crazy, right? In all these different niches. And maybe you've heard of Donia Angelo, right? The grandma that went viral, right? She lives on a ranch in Mexico, and her channel name in Spanish, I believe it says, "From my ranch to your kitchen." She has 2.6 million subs. She started YouTube recently, right? And she posts 8 videos a month, so 2 a week. 15 million views a month. 15 million, my friends. And 110,000 new subscribers a month. And the videos like are shot on a phone, and they're jump cut. There's no intro, there's no special music, there's no special logo, there's no special anything, right? But this sweet, amazing grandma shares her recipes, her cooking, and her channel has just exploded. So whether it's 2.6 million subscribers or whether it's 6,000 subscribers, I think the theme that we can see clearly here is that it's not too late to start. And YouTube is a marathon and not a sprint, but that's some pretty rapid success. Dr. iHealth from 0 to 100,000 in a year is crazy. Lucia from about 0 to 6,000 in a year, and monetizing, by the way, in a lot of creative ways, is also crazy. So there's so many different paths, of course, different niches and different positioning influences it. But that's what this session is all about, because we got to get clear on what is your most profitable path and best niche for you to be in on YouTube. But there's a few other myths to bust really quick that I see a lot. And one of them, again, is that YouTube is too crowded. Well, we learned in the first session that there's actually 2 billion monthly active users on YouTube. That's billion with a B. That's a lot of people, my friends, right? Like, so there's a lot of creators. There's also a lot of viewers. And guess what? Viewership is going up, especially more so with the lockdown. But I read an article in the Huffington Post that also talked about the surge of consumers that are coming online in the next couple years. And there's actually 3 to 5 billion new people coming online right now, because more people are getting on smartphones, internet's going more places around the world, internet's becoming more commonplace, speeds of the internet speed is going up. So not only is there tons of people, but there's more people coming online. So is YouTube crowded? Yes, but also there's more and more and more viewers. So really that's a myth that's been busted. People say money, like I just don't have the money to start YouTube. Well, we saw from these examples, like YouTube, which is free, plus your smartphone is all you need to get started. I get it. Like, we'll help you find other tech. Some niches, yeah, maybe you want to have a fancy live stream setup or whatever. That's fine. But YouTube plus your smartphone we've seen tons of examples, right, of people that use just those tools to get going. Talent. People say, like, you know, well, I just don't know. Like, I'm not Tom Cruise, man. You know, I'm not Angelina Jolie. Like, but YouTube is not Hollywood. That's what I love about YouTube, because sure, you have to build skills. That's why you're in this challenge. But it's really not the same skills. Like, you're not limited. It's not the NBA. It's not Hollywood. If you bring authenticity and value, and circle that word authenticity, like when you're yourself, you know, I don't think anybody would have looked at Donia Angelo and thought, oh yeah, she's going to be a Hollywood actress. But she's got 2 million subscribers on YouTube. So age is irrelevant. Where you live is irrelevant. Ethnicity is irrelevant. Like, when you bring right strategies, when you level up your skills, but when you're authentic, and here's the key, when you deliver value to a target audience, people connect with you. YouTube's different than any other place. I don't have enough time to do this. It only takes a few hours a week, and stay locked into every single session, because Heather Torres is the absolute most incredible productivity, time management, and really life juggling expert with kids, as a homeschool family, the chief operation officer of Think Media, as a content creator, as a podcaster, as a friend to so many people, as someone who helps in church and does so many different things. She is able to pull all that off because, look, it's really not that you don't have enough time. It's that you probably haven't really set priorities and got a hold of your time. You started managing your time. And she's going to break down some simple strategies so you can be like, man, I'm learning a lot, but how am I going to get all this done? Heather's going to break that down, so don't miss a session of the challenge. Well, I don't have enough connections, yo. I don't know anybody. I don't know George Lucas can't shout me out to get me my movie deal. I don't know Dr. Dre to get me my record deal. No. YouTube is about content, not connections. This kid right here, remember, college dropout, small town kid, started shooting videos in my bedroom, no connections in Hollywood. You got to put in the hustle. Yeah, you got to put in the work, but it's about the content, not the connections. Content is king and content rises to the top. And maybe you've thought this one before. Oh, someone took my idea already. Oh, I already saw a YouTube channel. Somebody already has my idea. Have you ever thought that? Tell me in the comments, right? Man, someone's doing exactly what I want to do. Man, they took my video idea. They're actually doing the video I was about to do. Well, chances are there's somebody who's literally already made the videos you want to make. Remember, in session number 1, the what you do. They didn't even do it the how you'll do it. But remember, it's also about the why you did it. You're going to do it differently. But here's the power. When someone is taking your ideas, if they're getting views and subscribers and they have influence on YouTube, it actually proves they're a market. It proves that there is a market. This is a misunderstood concept by a lot of people. If actually nobody is doing what you want to do on YouTube, it actually might be a sign that that's a bad niche to go in. It could be either a really good idea, or it actually just means that not really anybody is interested in it. Like, let's remember in session 1, we talked about Starbucks. Like, what they do is they make coffee. Was nobody else making coffee at the time? Are you kidding me? Where I grew up in Seattle, up in Marysville, Washington, there was espresso stands on every corner. Starbucks was selling coffee, Dunkin' Donuts was selling coffee, and there was hipster coffee shops literally everywhere. Everybody was selling coffee. Someone took the coffee idea. Is it crowded? Yes, the coffee market was crowded. But they came in with their unique style, and their how and their why was different, and their execution of strategy was different and well executed. And so the good thing is there's a market of people that want to drink coffee. Look, there's a market if you're in the right niche, and that's what we're talking about, right? A proven market, something that people are interested in. So tell me if you've believed any of these myths, or if you've heard any of them, because I'd also love to answer them with Heather as we talk about Q&A. But have you seen any of these myths? What are some of the people saying, or even some of your own mindsets that maybe family members or friends say to you as it pertains to YouTube, or you think about yourself, that you count yourself out? Look, if you don't get your mind right, you're going to shoot down your success before you even start. Like, you're going to talk yourself out of it. Like, this is why confidence is so important. If you don't have confidence, you're always going to find a way to lose. Yeah. Like, you got to get into a confident state to be like, okay, YouTube's legit. These myths are false, and it's not too late to start, and I'm going to commit, and I'm going all in, because it is going to take work. You don't get wholehearted results with half-hearted efforts. If you're dabbling, you're not going to get the results of the people that are dominating. So can we agree? These myths are busted, which kind of now brings us to the question, they're like, how do I find my niche? Now, maybe you've already found yours. Or maybe you have no clue what your thing is yet. And if you do know your niche, shout me out in the comments below, but this session might mess you up a little bit, because it might get you, just some clarity or some thoughts in terms of pivoting or going into a different direction or a different niche. I need my pen for this one, and here's what we're going to do. How do you find your niche? Now, we have in our training program, Video Ranking Academy, a few different processes that we take people through. This is one of them. Okay? So what I want you to do is get out your journal, get out something to write with, and to lean in for this exercise. And if you haven't started taking notes yet, I encourage you to, because you need a battle plan, right? This is your strategy, but it's like your black book of strategy, right? So get ready to jot some things down. And what I want you to do is just draw a circle. Before you do, you can draw it right up here, okay? And so passion. This is what a lot of people would say, you know what? The internet's so powerful, just follow your passion. Like, we're living in the era where you can turn your passion into profit. True. Like, you know what? What are you passionate about? That's what you should do. Now, I agree, kind of, but I actually sometimes think follow your passion is bad advice, because passion alone is not enough. But here's the questions on this. Like, what do you love? Like, what do you really love? And what you might do is, if you're drawing this exercise, we're going to draw 3 circles here. You might brainstorm, because if you have no idea where to start, you might be like, well, I love video games, I love music, I love sports, I love food. I'm really passionate about fishing. I'm really passionate about hunting. I'm really passionate about politics. Like, it's actually good to cluster out a lot of things that you're potentially passionate about, because we can find an intersection. This might take you in a different direction than you thought, but what are you passionate about? What do you love? Here's another question for you. What do you research? Like, for you, my wife and I, if we go to the bookstore, we go to different sections. I go to the sci-fi section, and I see like the latest sci-fi books out or whatever, because I love sci-fi. I go to the self-help section. That's my section, like business, self-help. I'm looking at whatever, and not only do I own over 2,000 books, right? But I get more. Like, I'm constantly buying books and investing in books. But she's like going to history books. She's going to like sticker books and cutout books and decorating books. So she researches, like, what do you geek out online and research all night long? For me, lenses. Last night, I'm studying lenses. I'm looking at different lenses I could take. So for when my wife and I go on hikes, I will read about cameras. I'll read about the sensors on them, the IBIS. I'll read about the latest cameras coming out. Canon R5 might be dropping in like 4 days. I'm losing my mind. I'm literally like up in bed after getting ready for this challenge, just geeking out about cameras. Okay. So what do you research? What do you love? What are you passionate about? But that is not enough. Okay. So I want you to draw another circle now, and I want you to overlap the circle. And here's what you're going to write in this circle. Okay. You're going to write proficiency. Proficiency. I had to write it down so I know how to spell it. You might have to look that one up. Proficiency. What does that one mean? What are you good at? Okay, what are you good at? So a couple questions on this is like, what problem do you solve? Or also, what do you have results in? So the problem with passion, let me tell you one of mine. I am passionate about, music. Love music, love singing, love rap. But as far as like real proficiency, I don't have it. I remember when I was younger in church, I thought that like Hillsong, Joel Houston, which is like a praise and worship band, was the coolest. And I had an acoustic guitar, and I was taking guitar lessons, and I was like, dude, that's what I want to be when I grow up, man. I want to be a singer. I want to like have the hair, get the tats, get the little booty shoes, skinny jeans, and I want to just go for it, man. I want to really, and come on, just be able to sing. I grew up in Seattle. Come on, Kurt Cobain, Nirvana, grunge. But what I discovered was that was not my proficiency. I could marginally improve in a certain area, but that was not my proficiency. If you're super passionate about something on your list, you might cross out the things that you just aren't proficient at. Now, I'm not saying you have to be the best in the world at it. I'm not saying, but when I think about proficiency, here's a couple questions for you. Again, what problem do you solve? Maybe a friend comes to you and says, hey, can you help me with this? So Heather's going to be teaching a couple sessions in this challenge. She's got a homeschool channel. And so when you look at how well behaved her kids are, and the fact that her and her husband Isaiah had this incredible family, and that she can homeschool and like build business and do all this stuff, people ask her, like, how do you homeschool? Like my friend Benji and Judy were asking her about how to homeschool because they were thinking about doing it, and then the pandemic and the lockdown happened, so they were getting advice from her because they look at her, and even if she didn't see, and here's what I need to speak life into some of you, you're too hard on yourself and you're blind to your own proficiency because of just negative self-talk. Like, no, you're good at stuff. It's the stuff that like you don't even know that you know. But what would your friends come and ask you, like, hey, can you help me with this? Because I see that you're like really good at investing. Like you're good at managing your money. Like, how are you so disciplined? All I do is spend all my whole paycheck every time. But not only do you discipline it, but like you know where to put it. Or like, dude, you're like really good at fixing cars, man. Like you just know how to, like, you can change the brake calipers, throw on the header, man. You freaking put the winch on the Jeep and whatever. Clearly skills. You're good at building stuff. Like, can you help me? Like, what would people ask you for? See, I didn't even realize until I started realizing mid 2014, I kind of was doing think media, but then I realized I wanted to kind of be a leader, and I was a pastor at a church at the time as a director of communications. I thought people would be asking me questions about marriage because I was like, I'm a pastor, can't I help you? And I thought maybe they'd ask me about like faith and like life, and actually nobody was asking me questions about any of those stuff, right? I was like, but I spoke a couple times at the church. But I was getting hit up on Facebook Messenger. People were like, Sean, what camera should I buy? Should I buy, how do I set up a camera for live streaming my church? And then eventually I was like, oh, I was like kind of already doing it, but I didn't have confidence yet. Oh, like that's what people are asking me. Maybe I should lean in on the thing that people see a proficiency that I maybe don't even see myself. What are you proficient at? What are you proficient at? And then what problem do you solve? Because here's a real key. You have to lean in for this. You have to understand that your YouTube channel solves a problem. If you don't understand the problem that you solve, you will always struggle. Like, even your tagline can be messed up. Like, in a way, we help people build their influence with video. That's actually not a problem. Video actually solves the problem, and building your influence with video solves the problem of, as a business owner, you need more customers. As an influencer, you need followers. It's usually, we solve the problem of not being known or of obscurity. You got to know, my friend JP Sears, he's coming on Video Influencer soon. He's just hit 1 million subscribers. Spiritual JP, ultra spiritual. And him and Benji have been friends for years on our channel over there. He solves a problem of humor, but he also solves a problem of like helping people get set free from a lot of inner mindsets and stuff when you go deeper in his brand. So he's got these comedy videos, but he knows like what he solves, whether that's boredom, whether that's escapism. So proficiency inside of that is knowing what problem you solve, and you help people solve problems. Heather Holmes, how do I start homeschool? Homeschool versus public school. I got a problem. I'm not sure how to go forward in this. So it's at the intersection of your passion and your proficiency, but that, my friends, is not enough. Hit the like button if you're getting value out of this so far. There is a third circle. Okay? And this is what it's going to look like. Okay? And this third circle, you got to write in there, profit, profit, profit. Now, profit is the business side of things. You got to know, and here's some questions. What would someone buy from you? Okay. Now, we're going to talk more about affiliate marketing. You know, I've never made a camera, right? I've never designed a camera, but even in affiliate marketing, when you've got, I'm passionate about video cameras, solving that problem. I'm proficient at it because I've been doing video since 2003. Self-taught, just learning online and whatnot, but doing it for a long time. Here's a myth buster. You go, well, I haven't been doing it for that long. Look, you just need to be one step ahead of the people you're going to help. For real. Like if you've been doing real estate for a year and someone's just starting real estate, if they went to Starbucks and sat you down, they're like, bro, can you just help my first year go better? Like, tell me everything you learned in your first year. You're like, oh, I made these 5 mistakes. These are the 3 things I did right. And just helping someone that's one step behind you, that's the power of the internet and the power of serving people online. You just got to be one step ahead of the person that's behind you. So even in 2010, nobody knighted me and said, Sean, you now can talk about cameras. You are an authority in cameras. I appoint you, anoint you, and I'm sending you forth to go review camera. I was just like, I took a loan out to start my business, Clear Vision Media, which is a freelance business, in 2009. I got 10 grand. I wasted about 4 grand on just stuff I didn't use, stuff that was sitting around. I got some stuff that was good because I did a lot of research. So I started making videos about it. And I was like, here's what I wish I knew. Here's why I got this. Here's what I learned about this between this. I done 5 hours of research, 15, 20 hours of research. And when you can condense down 20 hours of research into a 5-minute video, do you know how valuable that is for people? You're just shortening their learning curve. You're just sharing their answers. You're just helping them go further faster. So that might be your level of proficiency, but then you got to figure out, how can I profit? What are the best ways to profit? Okay, so what would someone buy from you? And maybe you don't know yet, but you should brainstorm. Like, maybe someday they might buy the tools for the fitness that I teach. They might buy training or an online course from me. They might buy supplements, or they might buy software, or they might buy tickets to something or an event. So you got to identify your profit. So what makes you money? The other thing here is, what business do you want to be in? I'm going to keep pushing you that even if you're like, I'm just a content creator. No, you're a business-minded content creator. Like Jay-Z said, I'm not a businessman. I'm a business, man. I'm a business. You're a business. Type in the comments, I'm a business. I know that'll kind of rub some of you the wrong way. You're like, oh, I don't really want, it's not business. It's just about like adding good into the world. It's just about like serving. I get that. But if you don't have this, you're not going to be serving anybody 6 months or a year from now. Like, if you don't get this right, you need money for the mission. You need to fund the impact that you want to make. This session's about how to make high profit and high impact. There ain't no impact without income. Or there's impact for like a few minutes, until you can't pay your bills anymore, can't feed your family, can't keep the lights on. I'm not saying it's about profit. Profit just is what sustains the mission. You need money for the mission. I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man, right? I'm not a businesswoman. I'm a business woman. What? So this is the intersection now that you want to find your niche. So you've brainstormed, here's some of my passions, but here's also where my greatest strengths are. And here's the ones that could be, check this out, the most profitable. So if you had 2 different directions, I would actually ask, which one is going to produce more profit? And I would pick that one, because when you can create freedom and leverage and start working from home and have life on your own terms, business on your own terms, did you know there's some impact things that I want to do in my life that are still on hold because I'm getting my business automated or scaling up a team? So there's books I want to write, but I'm not writing them yet because I'm focusing on profit so that we can sustain a whole mission. There's, courses and things I want to create that are not even related to YouTube, that are related to like faith and other things. But I realized that even as a biblical example, Paul created tents. The Apostle Paul, he created tents to fund his ministry. So he had like this practical side of paying the bills. And then he had this vision for what his ultimate mission in life and impact was. But when you can find the intersection between your passion, proficiency, and profit, that is where the magic happens. Now, there's a couple pitfalls here. Okay? First of all, if you are passionate and proficient, then but there isn't profit, okay? You have a hobby. Like, I'm really good at underwater basket weaving. Now, I don't want to hate on underwater basket weaving, but we're going to talk about keyword research and like how many people are interested in that. And actually, that is a great niche to pick, but only about 7,000 people a month search for it. Like, the market is not very big. For you business owners and entrepreneurs, it's your TAM, your total addressable market. Like, you might, I love this, but like, if it's like a thing of the past, it's like some super niche collectible of some old super niche show that nobody watches. Like, there just might not be a big enough market there. Well, then you can do it. You just might not make high profit from that. That's what this challenge is about. High impact and high profit. So if you have passion and proficiency, but there's not profit connected, then you have a hobby. Now, if you're passionate about it, okay, and it's very profitable, you're like, no, there's people that are killing it in this particular niche, but you haven't developed the skills and the proficiency for it. Again, this is me saying, is there high profit potential in NBA basketball? Yeah, you can get some good contracts, multi-million-dollar contracts. Amazing, okay? Am I passionate about NBA basketball? Yes. Awesome. But do you have proficiency for the NBA? No, I don't. I'm going to fail if I go in the NBA. Do I want to be the next worship leader, Hillsong United? I'm passionate. They do all, with songwriting credits and everything else, like they make a living off of their dream, but I don't got the proficiency for it. Then I take that path. That is a losing scenario for my YouTube channel. Okay. So do you see this now? Draw this out. If you just have passion and proficiency, it's just a hobby without profit. If you just have passion and profit, like it's a good niche, you love it, but like nobody asked you about it. Remember my little time in being a pastor? I don't know, maybe my marriage wasn't very good at the time, but like nobody was asking me, like, how do I have a stronger marriage? So maybe it was just kind of reverse engineering that, whether I was blind to it, and I don't want to talk you out of anything, but there's something about a wake-up call to find your sweet spot, your thing. I probably shouldn't have started Focus on the Family and write a book about how to have a strong marriage, because people were not perceiving me with that. But yet, and by the way, I could not even see, if you will, my own gift, my own past, because I was going in every other direction. I was focusing on my Sean Cannell channel when I should have been focusing on Think Media. I didn't have as much clarity as I have today, y'all. I wandered in the desert. I wish I had the YouTube Influence Challenge like you have right here. But now here's the last one. You might go, okay, I'm actually good at this. And it actually is profitable when I think it through. I mean, there's some monetization. Maybe you got the YouTube starter kit and you saw the 51 ways to make money. And you're like, no, this could be very profitable. But you're really not that passionate about it. The pitfall you can fall in here is boredom. Okay? So now you can do this for a while. And I actually think that this is, if you catch a vision and you realize that what people ask you about, what you research, what you're good at, and what can be profitable, maybe funds what you want to do in your passion in the future. But here's what I'm saying with YouTube. YouTube takes a lot of energy. You pour your heart into it. And so if you're thinking about, remember, start with the end in mind. If you're thinking about what you want to build and you're thinking about a way, this is the dream. If I could do something and profit at a high level from something that I've got some competency at, I'm not the best in the world. You don't have to be, but I'm a step ahead. And I read all the books on it. Look, I remember I talked to Heather, who, again, she didn't have full-on confidence to start her homeschool channel, just like all of us. It's terrifying to start YouTube. It's terrifying to put yourself out there. People are going to say it's imposter syndrome. People are going to say, who do you think you are? Sarah from high school is going to be like, oh, so you're posting videos now, huh? Like, we go, and whether Sarah even knows, like, Sarah's not even paying attention, but we're like making up what Sarah is saying. And I hate Sarah. She is so, I'm just kidding, like, who's Sarah? And we make up all these scripts, but like, I was like, Heather, how many books on homeschool have you read? She's like, all of them. You know what I mean? She's like, I've read like all of them. I've read like 14 books. So I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, you've already, think about what you research. Think about what you've poured into and you study. If you're like, no, I know all the things in that PS4 game or that PC game. I'm obsessed. Like, when you watch someone else, when you sit there and you watch someone else on YouTube and you're like, wasn't even good information. Like, what the heck? Like, someone less talented than you with less proficiency and even less passion just started taking action, and you're sitting on the sidelines because you haven't pressed record because you're overthinking it. The dream is if you can find the intersection of this when you list out your passions, but you think about industries and niches that are the most profitable, and you think about something that you know about, and you go in that intersection, my friends, that is your sweet spot. That is your, what you call in business, your USP, your unique selling proposition. That little green bullseye in the middle there, that's what you want to hit. Let me know if you're getting value out of this. Hit the like button. And this is where you want to niche down as it pertains to YouTube. To be clear, we're going to talk more about specific ways to make money on YouTube. But for being a purpose-driven entrepreneur, that's our mission. That's our culture. Think media, think marketing. We want to help purpose-driven people. That means, dare I say, I think your purpose is in the center of here. Because it's something that God has woven into your DNA that you're truly passionate about. It's something that you just have a natural proficiency for. Heather doesn't have a degree in homeschool. I didn't go to film school, right? But I have just a creative eye, and I've worked it. I picked up cameras and I loved them. I look back, I filmed my brother Phil Jr.'s wedding, and it was weird. I was like it was bad, but I was like spinning it. And my mom was like, man, maybe he gravitates towards cameras. But I didn't even see it for years. It was like chipping away, trying to find my gift, my talent, my passion. But then I started to learn about profit. And so the vision of this challenge is, how do you build a high impact and high profit channel? Is the fact that you don't have to have massive impact, massive change lives, making a massive difference in the world, disconnected, making from high profit. You can have both. But it's by doing the hard work of finding this bullseye, of working through those steps. And so as we get ready for some Q&A, and I'm excited to get Heather on some feedback, because she's one of the most brilliant people as it pertains to clarifying your niche and getting breakthroughs. Zig Ziglar said it this way: don't become a wandering generality, be a meaningful specific. If there was a quote that was said way before YouTube started that is relevant to YouTube, I think this is one of the most powerful quotes. A lot of wandering generalities on YouTube. What's your channel about? Well, it's kind of about like inspiring people. Okay, well, it's a good start. Sounds pretty general. Think about all those examples. I didn't just show you people who started. It's not too late to start, but that didn't just start in the last year or two. But they started like with something specific. They really amplified their difference. You don't need to be somebody else. You don't need to compete with anybody else. You're competing with yourself, and you need to be you times 2. You need to amplify your difference. Remember, one of the ways to do that is to amplify your why. Not just what you do, but also how you do it, because you do it differently than anybody else, but also why you do it. And when you start to amplify your values, people go, oh yeah, you want to actually have people stereotype you, believe it or not. I mean, of course, not in a negative way, but you want to be known. Like, I hope people know me as like, oh, Sean, like that's like the faith-driven guy. Like that's the guy who's like really passionate about like his faith. Man, he's really passionate about family. He's pretty bold in his beliefs. Like that's the guy who's just, I don't see him like flexing with Don P and being like, what up, and whatever. Like I see his values. Even though there's a whole bunch of people that also do what I do, they do what I do. Even similarly, maybe how I do it, but I just come from a different place. That's just my difference, right? And what's your difference? What's your why? And how does it connect to your belief system? You want to be a meaningful specific. And this goes to why you want to niche down. You got to start small to get big to win on YouTube. And so as we recap here, it's not too late to start YouTube. We define that. High impact and high profit is found at the center of the 3 Ps. You want to find the best way for you to make money? It's at the center of that. Well, Sean, there's still some cloudiness. Yeah, we're going to peel back the layers of the onion, but that's what I want you thinking through. And you got to niche down. You want to really niche down. Dr. Eye Health, Plants and Lucia, the expert plumber. When you find a niche, like, let me even summarize with this. It's interesting because you've actually had a chance to hear about, if you will, some of my beliefs. You've been able to hear about the things that I'm passionate about, like leadership and family, making a difference in the world. But I have a feeling we met because of niching down in YouTube. I'm not teaching LinkedIn. I'm not teaching Instagram. So not even just social media, but a niche within a niche. Maybe you were searching for what's the best camera. I learned that your gift will make a way for you. That when you start small with something specific, cameras, that it can lead to meeting people, even thousands of people in this challenge. The same is true for you. And I think you might have a mission, a purpose. You've got something you really want to accomplish, but maybe there's just something specific. And what you thought was going to be your channel was going to be out. You thought like, oh, wow, if I actually just help people with Tai Chi, if I actually just help people balance their checkbook, then I actually might be able to connect people, because here's what the difference I really want to make in the world. And it might be layers. It might take you a while to get there. Clarity is a process and it's a commitment. In this first session, we said you got to stay committed. In the first session, you got to commit to go all in. You have to commit. Okay, Sean, you drew a cool picture. So by tomorrow in the afternoon, should I have crystal clarity? I hope you do. But my friends, this took me months. And it took me being connected to a powerful community. It took me being able to bounce my ideas off other people. It took me continuing to have conversations with my wife. It took me having conversations with myself. It took me having conversations with God. It took me just like going through the process and the process and the process. But today, our brand is so clear and our movement is so powerful. You've seen the results. But you got to be willing to commit to do the work and go all in. And remember, commitment is the foundation of all great accomplishments. I want you to commit to this challenge. I want you to commit to your future. I want you to commit to going all in on YouTube and commit to doing the work. I'm not saying this is easy, but I'm saying it's worth it. You saw all the opportunities that are happening with YouTube. Those aren't becoming less. They're just becoming more. YouTube continues to grow, but commitment, my friends, is the foundation of great accomplishments.
OMG. I hope you took notes during that session. Sean was bringing the fire as he broke down profit, proficiency, and passion. And I hope after this episode that you go and take action too. We love seeing all of you Think Action Takers over on social media. So make sure to tag us at Sean Cannell and at Miss Heather Torres and use our hashtag Think Marketing so we can follow along on your journey too. And if you have not checked out our free 1-hour YouTube Masterclass, I highly encourage you to do that next. Go to thinkmasterclass.com to register for that today. Thank you so much for being a part of the Think Media community, and we encourage you to share this episode with a friend. We would also love if you would rate and review this podcast over on iTunes. And if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment sharing your aha moment from today's episode. Well, now it's time to take action, and I can't wait to see you in a future episode.
The question isn't which came first, it's who gets to take home that adorable little Reese's egg.
Bugs, the struggle is real. That's why you need Zevo traps. Zevo attracts and traps bugs 24/7 using a blue and UV light with no odor and no mess for effortless protection. Zevo, people friendly, bug deadly.
When you're recording YouTube videos, it is critical that you know how to create videos that will get views and subscribers and really help you make an impact in the world. And I am so excited to bring you today's episode where we share with you one of the sessions from our recent 7-day YouTube Influence Challenge. And in this session, I'm going to be walking you through step by step our Think Media YouTube framework. How do we actually make videos, and some of the mistakes that you might be making right now when creating videos that you don't even know you're making, and how to change them. Coming up. Welcome to the Think Marketing Podcast, the #1 podcast for growing and scaling your business with online video. I'm Heather Torres.
And I'm Sean Cannell, and we're from Think Media. And if this is your first time listening, welcome.
This show is dedicated to helping you learn how to get your content noticed and the latest money-making strategies working right now online. So whether you want to grow your YouTube channel or you want to maximize video across all of social media, this podcast is for you. Now, before we jump into the session, I just want to tee it up a little bit for you. You are about to listen to one of the sessions that we had inside of our 7-day YouTube Influence Challenge. And we were walking through the 7-step framework that we teach here at Think Media and at Think Marketing. And this is our signature proprietary process that is inside of our premier course, Video Ranking Academy, where we teach you our proven step-by-step system, this 7-step framework, throughout the entire course. And so we are bringing you one of those lessons, which is the record part of the 7-step framework. This is the third part of the framework, and you'll hear more about that as we are walking through this session. But I just wanted you to know that this is one of those sessions where you want to lean in. This is where I'm walking you through what needs to make sure are inside of videos. Like when you see videos that are really winning on YouTube, they have these ingredients, and really making a video on YouTube is like using ingredients to make a cake. And I'll walk you through a little bit more about that. But I just wanted you to know that we are excited to be bringing you these types of these pieces of content that we've had throughout our different training sessions. And we would love to know your feedback on social media by using the hashtag #ThinkMarketing. If you take a screenshot and let me know, do you like hearing these type of sessions? And I can't wait for you to dive in. So grab your notebook, or if you're out on a run or cooking dinner, just be making some mental notes. And I'm excited for you to listen to this session from our recent 7-day YouTube Influence Challenge. And in this session today, we're going to be covering the Think Media content formula, 3 ways to make your YouTube videos better, and the mistake that you might be making when you start your videos and what to do instead. And, you know, when I think about creating videos, you know, I shared my story yesterday that 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I never thought I'd be creating videos. I never thought I'd be going live once a week to do trainings and coaching. I never thought that this was what I was going to do. But understanding the skills, understanding that video is the medium, is the vehicle to be able to get my message out to the world, I had to just jump in and learn how to do it. And, you know, it reminds me of making a cake. You know, when you're doing video, it really is about putting the right ingredients in the cake. You know, I love cake. Let me know in the comments. What's your favorite? Do you like chocolate? Do you like vanilla? Do you like, what's that other one? Funfetti? You know, the funfetti cake. You like funfetti cake? Tell me what your favorite cake is. I unfortunately can't have dairy, and this is not at all what you needed to know. So we'll move on. But I normally can't eat these kind of delicious cakes, but I digress. Let's move on. All right. So making a cake requires the proper ingredients. It requires the proper ingredients, and it requires skill. You know, when I make a cake, it does not look great. It doesn't come out like this. You know, this is a beautiful unicorn cake. We got a cake just like this for my daughter when she turned 8 years old. She was obsessed with unicorns, and so we did a beautiful unicorn cake. But if I were to make the cake, it would look something like this. Yes. Have you seen these cakes before? You know, the fails, they've got the TV show Nailed It. Well, this is what happens a lot of times when people are making videos. They see other content creators like Casey Neistat and Sean Cannell, the Think Media team, and beauty inspiration YouTube channels. They're gardening. I mean, they see all these people who are professionals making video. And when they do it, it turns out like this. And that's because there's a formula to creating great videos. And Tony just shared a really great tip, which was that you should be putting B-roll into your videos so that you can be more of a storyteller through a very simple educational video. And remember, we talked about this before. Prior planning prevents poor performance. But you know, a lot of times it's not necessarily like, well, I don't really understand the things of the videos, and now we've gotten over our fears and we know that we need to just crush them. We need to start. We need to go all in. Maybe you've been creating videos for a while and you're just like, I just can't figure this thing out. And a lot of times when people are starting, what happens is they have this, the fear of the gear. This was me. I had the fear of the gear when I got started. It was so hard for me to understand how to use cameras like this. Honestly, this, I will be honest, is still kind of a prop. I understand it's got a cool flippy out screen. You can connect some audio to it. I don't even know what this lens is. This looks really good on my shelf. That's where I was with video. Had a camera, had the audio, had the lens, had the things, didn't make the video. Why? Fear of the gear. Fear of the gear. And this is where, let me know in the chat, is this where you are? Is gear not your thing? I know that Tony and Nolan and Omar and Sean and even Melissa, they geek out over this. This to me is like going to college for rocket science. That's what this looks like to me. Let me know. Can you relate? I mean, I'm a very educated person. I'm a super smart person. Thank you. This is my humble brag right now. Okay. But this right here, I know that Tony and Nolan and Sean and Omar and Melissa have told me what these things mean. Like, what does this mean? I don't know. But this held me back for so long, understanding that I had fear of the gear. That's what I had, fear of the gear. And remember, your first videos, they're going to be your worst videos. I know that you might be having fear of the gear, and all you actually need, let me go back, all you actually need really is this. You probably already have one. You've probably already spent like $1,000 on some type of device that's sitting right next to you. It's probably dinging right now too if you get notifications on. Don't have notifications on. All right, so you don't need fancy gear to make great videos. I mean, we learned in session number 1 that there are multiple channels right now that have blown up to over 1 million subscribers with just using an iPhone. You do not need to go out and invest a ton of money first to get a video out. Let me know in the comments section below, do you already have a smartphone? Do you already have a smartphone? Yes or no? I have a smartphone. I don't have a smartphone. Do you already have a camera? Yes or no? In the comments. Because remember, your first videos, they're going to be your worst videos. And I am here to share with you that my first videos were my worst videos. Here I am. Yesterday, I talked about, one of the mistakes content creators make is that they don't look at the camera lens. Look at that photo right there. Oh, all of its glory and fuzziness and out of focus. And where are my eyes? Not looking at the camera. Yeah, first videos are going to be your worst videos. Check out that other one. I'm standing on a box. Why am I standing on a box in a very cluttered office? Because Sean is 6'2" and I'm 5'5". So when we do a training next to each other, I look like a child. So I have to stand on a box in order to be able to be closer to Sean's level. So that's a box from Omar's garage. And you'll notice my hands are like right by my side. They're like that because my pit stains from being so nervous were giant. And I was like, if I move my arms right now, they are going to see my pit stains. This is the first time I did a live video training. And I was like, I will teach like this. I will teach like this with my arms right here the entire time. Why? Because of my pit stains. Your first videos, they're going to be your worst videos. So just get over it. You're going to sweat. It's part of the process. So just know that it's happening. But here's what people ask. Okay, so I'm ready to make my videos. I'm excited to make my videos. Well, what camera do I need? What camera do I need to get started? And I want to share with you, because we're talking about how do you get views? How do you get watch time? Well, you have to understand the gear that you're using. You have to have some knowledge in some of the gear that you're using, whether you're starting with an iPhone, whether you're using a point and shoot, or you're using a full-on camera with a flippy op screen. I don't even know what it's called. Is it a DSLR? I don't know. Mirrorless? I don't know. We'll keep going. And actually, there's more than just the camera.
Tax Act knows taxes can be confusing, so we've got experts, live human experts, to talk to if you get stuck. Or if you just, want to shoot the breeze about deductions and dependents and stuff. Tax Act. Let's get them over with.
McCormick knows unbeatable flavor. So we created Flavor Sealed, so spices are as fresh and flavorful as the day they were packed. Letting you make meals that'll have everyone licking their chops. McCormick, Flavor Sealed for unbeatable flavor.
We'll keep going. And actually, there's more than just the camera. It's called AVL, audio, video, and lighting. All three of these together actually produce great video. You can have just a camera, that's fine, but just a camera isn't actually all that you need to be creating great video. And again, the video does matter. Like, content is king, but it's got to be wrapped nicely in a package. You can't just throw out some garbage video and expect that you're going to get lots of views and watch time. No, we are here to help you with your learning curve. We are here to help you understand that it's more than just the camera. And again, all you need to get started is an iPhone, a smartphone, an Android, a 5-year-old phone. It does not matter. A tablet, something that has a camera on it is what I need you to use to get started. And if you want to go up a level from there, you can go up to a nice point and shoot camera. And what I like about this camera here, this is the camera on the screen, is it has a flip up screen. If you're videoing by yourself, it is amazing to be able to know what you're videoing. The point and shoot I have here, while it's great, it doesn't actually have a flip up screen. And for YouTubers, for people creating content, that's a key to know what you're filming with. And so I would recommend a camera like this. Easy, fits in your pocket. You can shoot. This is me trying to do a camera tutorial, guys. This is horrible. I'm drowning, Tony. I'm drowning. All right. So just being open and honest with you, this is my level. I am interested in this, and I will share all I can about this, and we will move on. But if you want to know the top camera recommendations for any budget, think gearguide.com. We've put that together for you so that we can walk you through, depending on your budget and the type of camera. We get asked all the time, what camera should I get? Should I get the M50 or should I get the SL2? Should I use this Nikon or should I use this? And every person's situation is slightly different. And so we've created an entire gear guide for you to walk you through our best recommendations for the most common uses of a camera when creating content for YouTube. So I definitely recommend writing that URL down, thinkgearguide.com, and that'll help you select your camera. But again, what camera do you need? The one you already have. Why do you need just the one you already have? Because you need to get started. If you haven't started yet and you're waiting for the next upgrade and you're waiting for the things, you are holding back on the message that needs to get out. Your first videos are going to be your worst videos. So let's get them out of the way. I'll just keep saying that over and over. And maybe you're already creating videos and you're like, okay, Heather, I'm past this. I understand that I have the right camera. Great. Well, let's walk into the next piece. And the next piece is actually the lighting. The next piece is actually the audio. Audio is actually more important than video quality. Audio is more important than video quality. Write that down, because most people think that it's all about the camera. And really, audio has so much, people will watch a poorly lit video, but when you can't hear, when it's scratchy, when it's echoey, we tune out. We move on. We need to hear clean audio when we're producing content. Our audience wants that. So how do you get more watch time? Have good audio. And you could do something as simple as a microphone for $20 that can go right into your phone. It can go right into your camera. Very simple investment. Now, right here is the Shure MV88. That's actually the one that I am using. I'm using the Shure MV88. It comes with this little cover on it. So you can see there that there's that one. I have this one. And I love it because it allows you, just like that guy's doing, he's recording his family, or you can turn it and you can record yourself. It's such a versatile microphone for your phone. There's also very simple ones that you can use, a USB mic. So here I am creating a video for you, and I'm using a webcam, and I'm using a microphone. Now, again, if I didn't have this webcam and I was only using my laptop camera, I would still invest in audio, because audio is the key to great video. Write that down. Audio is the key to great video. All right, so we've gone through AVL. I think we should switch it. I know that is like a term in the industry for cool people. I think it should be VAL, don't you? Video, audio, lighting, but I digress. I'm not the person that came up with the statement. I know it's like a real term in the world, so we're gonna stick with it. AVL. Now we're gonna heading into lighting. Let me know in the comments below, what lighting do you currently use? What lighting do you use when you're creating your videos? Do you use a ring light? Do you use soft boxes? Now, here's what I love. I love FREE. I don't know about you. I am all for free. I am for free, beautiful lighting. And how do you get that? You sit in front of a window. It's that easy. How do you make your videos look better so people watch them longer? You sit in front of a window. Having great lighting. Right now, this is, man, I wish I could stand up and turn off the lights, but if I did that, you'd see I'm wearing sweatpants, and I don't want you to see that. So the lighting on right now is directional, and it's coming towards me. It's making my face glow. Are you not seeing this beautiful glow? It's happening because of the lighting. It's not, I mean, it's natural, but at the same time, this is a glow that's happening that is helping to illuminate my face. And we love to see people lit up. Hollywood, as you know, is so good at great lighting. And so we're just pulling off of that to make simple YouTube videos. And you could do that for free by just moving in front of a window. You can also do something very simple like this. So this is that same camera. We've added a microphone on the side, and we've also added on just a cheap $20 ring light. Having some type of lighting that illuminates your face will help your video quality so much more. You can also do something like this. This is sitting on top of a Sony. This is just a very inexpensive light that can really light you up. So if you're doing vlogging, or if someone's filming you while you're walking, this is just a light that can help, because you can't have these big giant lights all around. This is a great light to just have right in front of you. And we use this when we go into video shoots that are, out in the city. We bring these lights because we want to still be able to point some direction towards the subject when we're filming. And if you want to check out over on Think Media, I'm actually just the model here. I did not do this video. Nolan, who went to film school and has worked on major TV productions and movie sets, he walked through how to do proper 3-point lighting. So right now I have 2-point lighting because I have one on this side and one on this side. And he'll teach you about that backlight, and he'll teach you about some really cool lighting tricks. That's over on Think Media. And we'll make sure that that video gets to you in your follow-up email for today's training. But that'll help you to understand, oh, that's how you move the lights around. And we'll also include how to do lighting if you're wearing glasses, because if you see right now, I've got my glasses on and I'm doing my best to keep them without the shininess of the boxes. But here's my soft boxes. These are the two that I use. I move them around my room. My desk is off of the wall, and so I'm able to have these lighting boxes just right in front of me, pointing to the side. But it's very simple. Remember, what are we gonna do? We're just gonna start messy. So if that means your smartphone on a pile of shoe boxes in front of a window, and that's where you're starting, then that's where I want you to start. That's where I want you to start. All right, now, how do you make videos, Heather? Okay, we're getting into that. That's what we're getting into right now, because when I asked this morning, what are your struggles when it comes to making videos? Is it the technical side? Is it the content side? And I think 80% of you said, it's the content. I don't know how to structure my videos. I don't know how to make them. I don't know how to edit them. What should I do? And so I want to share with you 2 videos that I want you to watch after this session. We'll make sure you get these links, but I have a quick 30-minute step-by-step tutorial that walks you through how to do it all on your phone, how to edit it on your phone, how to record it on your phone, the right settings you should have on your phone if you're using a phone to make your videos, and so much more, how to do your thumbnails, upload everything. 30 minutes, you will know how to do a video. And if you're more advanced than a phone and you already have a beautiful camera and a microphone and all of the things, and you are already using maybe a higher end or a desktop editing program like Premiere Pro, or wow, say that 5 times fast. Premiere Pro or Final Cut, you can walk through Sean's step-by-step tutorial and you get behind the scenes on exactly how he does a full video edit from start to finish. You can see how he's filming it, and he gives so many tips and tactics on that video. Also, how you should upload it to YouTube and what file size and all of those things. We'll make sure you get that video. So how do you make a video? You have to have the right ingredients. So now you know. We know AVL, right? Let's walk through it. We've learned AVL.
All the electrolytes of Gatorade with 0 sugar to rehydrate and replenish. Gatorade Zero.
Right? Let's walk through it. We've learned AVL. We've learned that we need to have the right ingredients. We've learned that there's 2 other videos that you can go watch to learn step by step how to actually do the things like, how do I edit? Like, what is the keys and what does it look like in Premiere? And how do I do it on my phone? We've given you that. And now we're going to walk through our Think Media content formula. This is a formula we use on every single video. How do we get to 1 million views? This formula. How do we get to like 40 million views a month? This formula. Because we have the right ingredients. We have the right ingredients when it comes to this. And what is the magic secret sauce is you can use this for all types of video, whether it be training videos, whether you have any niche this works for. This is a formula that you can use on your videos. And here's what it looks like. The Think Media content formula. You've got your hook, you've got your content, and you have your CTA or your call to action. Your hook, your content, your CTA. All right, let's walk through this. We have the hook. The hook. What is the hook, Heather? Well, the hook is at the very beginning of the video. That's what you say. That's what hooks someone in to wanting to watch the whole video. So we've already talked about you need to have a great title, because they need to be able to discover you. You should have a great thumbnail. If you've got the YouTube starter kit, you can dive into all of our best secrets and tips for how we make thumbnails. And so we've got our title, our thumbnail. Now we need to make sure that we hook them. They click on it and they need to know right away that this is a video they need to watch. And a huge mistake that content creators make is they open videos like this. Let me know in the comments if you watched a video like this. Video comes on, you click it, and this is what they go, hey guys, thanks so much for being here. I know it's been so long since I made a video. I'm so sorry. And yeah, like I was with my dog and it was really fun. And anyways, today we're going to talk about, right? Have you heard this? You're like, you wasted 3 seconds of my life. Please. Don't do that again, okay? So that is not what a hook is. A hook is strong. If you've ever watched a Think Media video, you know that we're using a hook because you see the topic, you see the title, you see the thumbnail, you click on it, and then we're like, do you want to learn how to edit videos on Premiere? And you're like, oh my gosh, they read my mind. That's exactly what I needed. I needed this video. You hook them into the content. So how do you get your click-through rate? You get someone to click by your title and your thumbnail. How do you get someone to watch? You start with a great hook. Now, what does that look like for a great hook? You want to stop the scroll, meaning they've done it, they've clicked on it. You don't want them to back out and keep scrolling. You want to stop the scroll. You want to grab attention. You want to grab their attention, meaning you want to give them a problem or a solution. You want to give them some way of authority showing that you know how to do this. You want to show quickly the before and after. Just like Tony shared in that quick tip when he said we are using different types of shots to show what we're doing. Someone who's interested in understanding how to live stream would watch that video in my actual words that I'm saying. I'm giving a problem and a solution so that they know that this is the video they need to watch to answer their question. And what's the point of the hook? The point of the hook, let me go here. The point of the hook is actually to convince the viewer to watch the rest of the content. That's the entire point of the hook. So are you using hooks in your videos? Let me know in the comments. Are you using hooks in your videos? And I want to give you a little bit of swipe copy. Swipe copy means you basically fill in the blanks. So take this, screenshot this, write this down. Here is one thing you will hear us say a lot at Think Media, and you'll see a lot of our students in Video Ranking Academy say this as well. And here's what it is. In this video, I'm going to show you how to blank, 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 blank. In this video, I'm going to show you why blank, 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 blank. Why do we do that? Because we want to give them clarity on exactly what we're teaching. So for me, it would say, for my homeschool channel, in this video, I want to show you how you can start homeschooling your kids without having to buy any new products. That's the hook. I'm telling them exactly what I'm going to teach them. It hooks them because now they're like, well, I want to know how to homeschool without buying any products. That is called the clarity hook. All right, moving on to the next one. The next one is called the problem solution hook. The problem solution hook. Are you struggling with fill in the blank? Well, in this video, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to share with you, I want to explain how to or why or fill in those words But this is the problem solution. You want to identify the problem they're having. So for Think Media, are you struggling with getting views on your video? Well, in this video, I'm going to teach you my 5-step process for not only getting views, but actually increasing your subscribers at the same time. There you go. That's a hook. That's a problem solution hook. Now, every time you watch a Think Media video or Think Marketing video, you're going to be like, oh, that's the hook. I see it. I see what they're doing. And that's what I want you to do, because you need to identify the problem and share how you are going to give them the solution. All right, we're moving on to the Think Media formula. We've talked about the hook. Now we're going to get into the content, and then we'll cover the CTA. So the content hacks I want for you is, here's the content hacks: script and outline. Script and outline. Please write that down and circle it and highlight it and do all of the things. Script and outline. Why do people fail on their content? They don't know what they're talking about. So you need to go into understanding the content with understanding, what are you going to talk about? What are the 3 points? What do they need to know? How long do you want this video to be? Really thinking about it, right? Remember, prior planning prevents poor performance. So when we are here making videos at Think Media, we go through a 3-step process. We do a title process where we kind of brainstorm a bunch of titles. That's one part. Then we script the entire video. Now, we don't do word for word. We decide, what is the hook going to be? We know what that's going to be. What's the main content? Are we reviewing a camera? Are we doing a versus? Are we sharing how to do something? What is the actual meat of the content, and what do they need to know? So we always put the needs to know in there. And then we also want to know in our video, when we're scripting it, what do we want the call to action? Like, what do we want to ask them in the question? Of the question of the day. We always want to make sure that we're engaging our audience. And so we want to actually pre-plan those before we go into video. And then we review the scripts. Now, if you're doing this solo, you should still review your script before you film your video. Number 2, you want to number your points and steps. This is when you want to figure out, how do I get people to watch the whole video? You give them how many steps or points or pieces of the puzzle when you start your video. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my 3-step process. In this video, I'm going to share 5 hacks. In this video, I want to share 21 ways, right? When you number things in your videos, people, one, understand that they need to stay because they want all 21. If I just said, I'm going to share with you some of the ways, well, you would think, how many is some? I don't know. I'm going to share all. How many is all? So you want to actually number or make steps for your points, and that'll help you also stay structured in your content. And the question we get so often here at Think Media is, how long should my videos be? Your videos should be as long as they need to be, but they need to be as short as possible, especially when you're just starting. And again, there is room for long form content, which means videos that are like this, that are trainings and longer form and podcasts and those types of things. But at the beginning, when you're just starting, what can hold you back is that it takes so long to get through the video, and then it takes so long to edit the video, and then no one watches the full video. So let's make them short. Let's make them punchy. If you have 10 steps you want to share with someone, make 10 videos rather than one video with 10 steps. Makes sense? So you can get through that so much faster. All right, those are the content hacks for today. We have so many more content hacks that I want to share with you, but I want to get through this material right now. So we've talked about the hook, we've talked about the content, and now we're on to the call to action. CTA means call to action. In every single video, you want to tell people where to go next. What is their next step? This is a big piece that people miss. And when do you need a call to action? You can have it anywhere in the video. And here at Think Media, and when we're teaching students how to do this, we say have more than one call to action. Have a call to action to the same thing more than one time. Why? Because a lot of people don't watch to the end of the video. But if you are the person that is bringing people to YouTube, they watch your video and then they click on the next one to go watch another video, or they start going down that like rabbit hole of binging content, but you're the one that brought them to the video, you get credit for that on your channel. So when you are doing your videos, make sure that you have multiple call to actions. And these are not spammy. This isn't like smash the like and subscribe because I'm awesome. No, we are not those people. We're not doing that. Okay. Here's what a call to action is. Hey, if you would like to go further and learn more about how to X, Y, and Z, then make sure that you check out the next video because I share X, Y, and Z. That's a call to action. You could do that up in the YouTube cards, right? YouTube cards are always over here or in the description below. Why are we doing that? Because we want to help people and educate people how they can go to the next step. Now, if you are a business owner, which I'm hoping that you are, we want you to make sure you're giving away free value. So what's next? What's next is that you give a free download, they can schedule a call, just like we showed Steve Panette, the real estate agent that's in Phoenix, Arizona, crushing it right now. He doesn't have very many subscribers, but his call to action is, hey, if you're looking for a home in the Phoenix area, make sure to give me a call. And his phone number is right there at the very top of that video. So a call to action is always, what is the next step? And a lot of times people feel like, well, I don't want to be spammy. I don't want to sell. I don't want to, here's what I need you to realize. When someone spends time with you on video like this, if they don't know what to do next, they won't do anything. It's true. If you don't tell someone where they should go next, they probably will just end the session with you, find something else, if you say, hey, I am here to help. Remember, we went through those terms last night. You don't have to be an expert. You can be a helper, a guide, a teacher, a best friend. Hey, for me, in my videos for homeschool, it would look like this. If you really liked videos just like this and you want to learn how you can actually homeschool your kindergartner, then make sure to check out the next video. That I'm just telling them exactly what to do next if they have a kindergartner. Or here at Think Media, it could be just like this. Hey, if you would like to take a 7-day challenge on how to crush it on YouTube and get more views and subscribers, then make sure to sign up for our free challenge. I'll put the link down below, or you can go over to tubeinfluence.com. Call to action. I told them where to go next. So you want to make sure you have a call to action in every video. It is vital that someone knows where they need to go next. One of the biggest mistakes that creators make when creating content, energy. Say it with me. Melissa, Tony, I see you. Say it with me. Energy, energy, energy. You have to have energy when you're creating content. If you're sitting like this and you're just talking to the camera and you have no expression and you're just kind of normal, just like this, that is boring. No one wants that. So here's what we need to do. You need to get yourself pumped up, okay? You need to get your energy up, inflection in your voice, be passionate about what you're teaching, smile and show joy, come through the lens. That's what you want to have when you're creating content. Why do people love watching content creators all the way through? Because they love the content creator, because they want to know the person, right? And so how do you do this? With energy. Energy, energy, energy. You need energy when you're creating.
iPhone 16e has the best battery life for an iPhone this size, so nothing's stopping you from getting the high score, except the stairs, benches, and rails. iPhone 16e, latest iPhone, greatest price.
Golden Oreo Cakesters. Enter soft mode.
Energy. You need energy when you're creating videos. But again, remember, we're just going to start messy. I just threw so much at you. Like, you might have a full page of notes right now. Like, okay, I need to do my hook. What's my hook? Okay, I need to figure out my content. What's my content? Okay, I need to figure out my call to action. Where am I going? I don't have a download. What should I do? Okay, stop. We're going to start messy. This is not going to be perfect. It never is. It's okay. But these are just the pieces of the recipe that we need when we're making videos. We need to understand, how do we use our gear? We need to understand, what do we need? We need to understand, how do we do it? And that's what we just learned. So here's what I need you to remember. Start with what you have. Just start with what you have. If you have an iPhone, I saw in the chat, people were saying it. I've got a phone. I can start with a phone. That's where you need to start. That's where you need to start. It may not be the best video of your life. I hope it probably isn't. because video number 1000 is going to be so much better than video number 1. But you cannot get to video 1000 until you make video number 1. I'm talking to you right now, the person who has not made the video, the person who is writing down all the notes, but it still has not pressed record. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you right now if you've made videos and you're discouraged because you're like, no one likes this. And what you're actually thinking is no one likes me. And I want to encourage you. You have to start with what you have. You have to start with what you have. You will not get to video 1000 until you do video number 1. So let's crush video number 1. Let's crush video number 100. Let's crush video number 500 so we can get to video 1000. So we can actually be making an impact and a difference in the world. So you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready to make a video? I'm ready to make videos. I'm making a video right now. Right this second, we're making a video. All right, this is going to be what we're doing. But hold on. Okay. So you're like, great. Okay, committed. Making a video. Let's do it. This is where yesterday's enemies will start to come up again. What's enemy number 1? Perfectionism. That's what's going to be number 1. I guarantee you, most people, this is the number 1 enemy. Well, I can't do it. I don't have the right lighting. I can't do it. I don't have the thing. I don't have the... No, we're not doing that. We're busting through excuses today. We're making a new video today. That's what we're doing. We're here on this challenge to make videos. But here's what it's going to look like. It's going to look like this. Start with the box. What's the box? The box is that content formula. I am not asking for more than what I just gave you. I want you to have the hook. I want you to have the content. Think it through. Know what you're doing. Make sure you don't make those 7 mistakes. And then give a call to action. And this is all I'm asking. I want you to make a basic cupcake. I'm not asking for a full cake. I'm not asking for the unicorn cake. I want you to make a cupcake. This could be you actually creating your first YouTube video. This could be maybe a step before that and you just making an Instagram video. This could be you actually have already been creating videos, but you need to just level it up. This is what I'm asking for you today. And then the next video, we're going to put some frosting and sprinkles on it. Yeah, we're going to use these really cute tin cups rather than these ugly brown. Like who is the person that decided that we needed ugly white ones? Hello, we need pretty confetti ones. That's what we need. That's what cupcakes need. And then as we go through, we get to maybe video 30, maybe video 100, and we're going to be making a cake. We're going to do 2 layers with some frosting, and it's going to look so pretty, set up for Pinterest. That's what we're going to do. This is maybe you've upgraded your lighting. Maybe this is you finally got the big camera. Maybe this is you got a whole studio. You decided that you are going all in and you're creating a full studio space to create your YouTube videos. Maybe that's what this is. And then eventually, over time, we're going to get here. Eventually, over time, you're all in on YouTube. Eventually, over time, people are watching your videos. Millions of people a month are watching your videos. That's what we're going to get to. How do we increase watch time? How do we increase people watching your videos? You have to understand the basics of making videos. And I want you to just strive to get 1% better every time. That's all I'm asking. 1% better every time. Now, here's what happens to me. It'll take me 30 minutes to set up. I'll do my test and I'm like, shoot, I messed that up. Or I walk through my content and I have to restart 5 times because I keep forgetting what the last point is. Or I get to the editing phase and I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I sound like that? Anyone else? Every time I make a video, I'm like, why can't I just sound normal? Whatever normal is, that's what in my mind I think I want to sound like. But we want to just get 1% better. And this is your time. Remember, we're going all in. We're doing YouTube. Maybe you've already made some videos. Maybe you're already committed. I want you to recommit. We're making videos. How do you get views on YouTube? You make YouTube videos. How do you increase those? You get 1% better every single time. It's vital. It's vital that we do that. Wow. Well, I really hope that that inspired you to start creating videos. You know, when you have the framework, when you know the mistakes, it's so important that you start to apply that. And I want to challenge you to take action. I think there's nothing better than starting messy and just starting to get those videos out there. And I want to also say thank you so much for being a part of this community. You know, our community here at Think Marketing has really grown, and your feedback has been so vital to knowing what type of podcasts you want to hear. And so thank you so much for leaving comments over on YouTube. And we would ask you, if you like this type of content, to go over to iTunes and rate and review us. Tell other people what you love about the Think Marketing Show and other pieces of content you would like us to cover here. We are always listening. We're always there reading through those reviews, and also the comments over on the Think Marketing Show on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe over there. And again, this is the time to take action. And the best way to do that is to grab that camera, grab whatever you have, and start recording videos, because we know here at Think Media that possibilities are after you take the first step. So thank you so much for watching or listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.
Tax Act doesn't expect you to have all the answers. That's why we've got experts on hand who do. Well, the answers to tax stuff, not like if aliens are real or how to get washboard abs. Tax Act. Let's get them over with.
Every bottle of McCormick is flavor sealed. For fresh flavor, everyone notices.
$55,000 from one affiliate program.
One of the things I was looking for when it came to affiliate products is that looking for one of those higher ticket items where I could earn a really good commission. I found a company and quickly became someone who did very, very well with their program because I started to rank videos.
That's the power of ranked videos. It truly is passive income.
Work based on time, not by accomplishment. And it'll force you to start making choices.
Explain kind of what your thinking was in regards to this idea of a YouTube funnel.
Yeah, so
I don't think anybody talks about this really. So our guest today earned over $55,000 from one affiliate program using a unique strategy that I haven't heard anywhere else. And in today's episode of the Think Media podcast, she's going to be breaking down the exact YouTube video funnel for how she was able to earn money on the side while working a factory job, balancing family life, and growing her channel over multiple years, and then eventually being able to go full time. She's also going to be sharing some practicals about finances, like paying down debt and being strategic if you yourself have the ambition of doing YouTube part-time or full-time, and her tips and the lessons she's learned along the way. And really the 1% better method that has helped her constantly improve her videos, build her channel, while just using her smartphone to create content. My guest today, Jacqueline, has a channel called The Wild Floridian, and its goal is to help Florida gardeners and people with similar climates find the joy of growing food and flowers in the Sunshine State. Jacqueline, welcome to the podcast.
hi, Sean. Hi, everybody.
So I'm so excited to have you on the show today. And I want to just have kind of like some quick tips right at the start before we unpack your story a little bit later. But before we pressed record, we added up how much money you've earned from one affiliate program, and it's over $55,000. Can you tell this story as far as what is this product, like how did you find it, and how does it tie into your channel?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, when it comes to gardening, one of the things I was looking for when it came to affiliate products is that looking for one of those higher ticket items where I could earn a really good commission. Because I don't know about you, well, maybe you, but I don't really like selling. It's like not the thing I want to be doing all the time. I want to talk about flowers and vegetables. So I was looking for something that I thought would be really useful to my Florida community, Something that might go beyond my Florida community that would be interested for like people no matter where they live. And then I was looking for that higher ticket item. And when I kind of did like a breakdown analysis, it really came down to raised garden beds. And for me, this kind of fit multiple needs of my philosophy, which was because I'm the wild Floridian, I do like to garden a little wild. And one of my tips for my gardeners is, because I did a bunch of it in my front yard in a suburban neighborhood, was like, sometimes you need to put your crazy in a box, and sometimes that box is a raised garden bed. So it tied in really, really well. The other thing was like I really focused on something that was unique about me versus a lot of gardeners and homesteaders, which is I have that factory background. And one of the things that's unique about that is I have a lot of experience dealing with materials in very corrosive and really difficult to work in situations that just really break them down. So as I started to look into metal garden beds, which I knew for me would be the right choice, I found a company that not only had some really great features that I knew I would be able to advocate well for my Floridians, that I thought would be really a benefit for them to have if they were going to go down the raised garden bed route. In addition, I looked into their whole commission structure, and they were one of the ones that was willing to pay a really nice commission for you as a creator doing all this work for them, because that's what you're doing, right, when you're marketing. So I signed up for their program and quickly became someone who did very, very well with their program, because I started to rank videos. And then more recently, I started to think through kind of the whole journey that everyone goes through when they think through buying a raised garden bed. So where do they start before they go and they decide on metal? And then once they decide on metal, how do they go about picking a brand to look at? And so that has been what I've been working on over the last couple of years.
I love this, and I want our listeners to, maybe they're new to some of these concepts. There's some nuances in here. Let's first hit kind of just even how this works if someone's new to affiliate marketing. So what was the website that you ended up finding? What's the brand name?
So the brand I work with is Vajayga. And what's interesting about it, I suspected it, they finally would confirm it to me, and now they confirm it on their website, is unlike a lot of the raised bed, the metal bed companies, is they're actually the manufacturer. And that was one of the things, because I come from manufacturing. I know what co-packers, if you're not familiar with co-packers, basically they make stuff for other people. I had a really big suspicion that a bunch of the metal bed companies were just the label and not the actual makers. And Vajayga was the one that I knew from looking at their stuff. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're actually the one making this stuff. And so I really got excited about the idea of working, being a factory girl, working with the factory people.
That's so cool. So they basically supply white label other brands that slap their name on it, but they're kind of the original. They're the source.
Yeah. So they've been doing it for a long time. And only in the last few years, they decided just to do more direct sale instead of just doing the white label.
So again, you find a specific brand, a specific website. You scroll to the bottom of the page, and usually this is where listeners could find, it says, affiliate program or associates program or influencer program. And then commission is the percentage amount. If someone clicks your custom link after watching one of your YouTube videos, it's the percentage amount that you earn. And I think I looked it up. I think it starts at maybe 10, and then depending on performance can go as high as 20% of the sale. Am I in the ballpark there?
Yeah, they have a performance-based one, which is one of the other things I really liked, because there's a lot of brands, like, it doesn't matter how much you sell, like you're just going to get this small amount of commission. And if you do it really strategically, and like you get videos that are ranking for search terms, like you're sending a lot of volume their way. And so I liked the fact that they were willing to recognize that. And I think the other benefit, and this is why it's a benefit to deal with the manufacturer, is because those other companies that are just putting their label on it, right, they're already having to take a hit on their profit margin because they didn't make it. So now that they were direct selling, they have more available funds to allow for them to pay out to creators. So that allows them, they're hands down the highest payer that I can find for metal beds.
So that's one of the tips we talk about all the time, is if you can find higher commission structures, you can earn more, because it's like if you make 1% off of a $10 product on Amazon, that's like 10 cents. But if you make 20% off of a few $100s in raised garden beds, 20% on $500, I think is $100. Mm-hmm. So that's some significant money. If you've got YouTube videos that are out there that people are watching, they love that what information they're learning, they're finding a product. Okay, so you find a brand, you audit kind of their commission structure. You also find it's a product that you yourself love and can endorse and get behind. And then you mentioned you rank videos. For somebody that's, new to that concept, like what's the mindset behind why, as opposed to just making a video and talking about it, what is a ranked video in your mind, and how does that connect to this?
iPhone 16e has a durable design and ceramic shield because the average person drops their phone 208 times a year. Make that 209 once they see the price. iPhone 16e, latest iPhone, greatest price.
12 grams of protein in every serving. Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, friendly competition, and big moves. Quaker, bring out the good.
So I think one of the other things for me, just back on the commission structure, and I'll tie into this, is that because my channel is just about Florida gardening, I'm never going to be the channel that has millions and millions of views for typical videos, because I'm only talking to Floridians. So in general, I'm not in the volume game. So whenever I'm going to go do something, it's got to be a quality, higher paying product. So whether it's my own product or an affiliate, I'm not going to be selling millions of things. So I can't just be in the pennies game. I have to be in the we're talking $10, $20 each time. So from that standpoint, I needed to think through. So when it comes to ranking, so now back to the ranking videos. So because there's only going to be so many Floridians who are interested in buying a metal garden bed, in order to rank, I had to think through who's going to be interested in buying a raised garden bed, whether they're in Florida or not. And I'm basically trying to hit those when you go to your YouTube search, right? They're typing in raised garden bed or metal garden bed. And these are the words that they're looking for. How do I get the video that shows up first to help them in their journey of their choices that they're going to make? So the first ones I started to do was just for the brand Vijega. And that's actually one of the first ones I started to rank, is because most people, when they do affiliates, they just do the unboxing. I opened it, it looks great, and I move on. And because I was so focused on materials, one of the first ones that started to do really well, which was the 2 years ago when I really started to pick up commission, is I did the 1 year review. Because a lot of people want to know, right? This is not a cheap thing to buy, right? They're spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and there's purchases that come in that are over $1,000. So they want to know, is this thing going to last? And so for that was kind of one of the first ways I kind of made myself different than the other people who just did unboxings, is I did the 1 year review. And I also took advantage of that with using questions from my first video to try to clarify things for everybody on things that they were still wondering about, does it bulge, does it bend, does it rust, does it get hot? Because I live in Florida, right? So I tried to come back around and answer questions. And there was another thing I did that was also really distinct in that video, is I, in the original video, asked people based on what I showed them how it compared to some of the other big metal brands without putting them down. I was like, hey, what do you guys think? Is this similar, the same, different? So I had a lot of comments telling me what people thought was the same, but also they thought the Vijega brand was better at. And so then in that 1 year of video, I was able to share those. So it wasn't just me telling you to buy Vijega, it was also my community giving their thoughts on it too. So it made it a really strong video to be able to help people in their purchase decision.
There's so many points to recap here, and I want, there's tactics in how that you've gotten views, how you went full time, talking about how you balance it with other life and family. We're going to unpack a lot in this podcast, but I do want to kind of recap some things for listeners. So the big strategy here is Jacqueline's made over $55,000 from Vijega, this one raised garden bed website, in affiliate commissions over the last few years, from making strategic videos. She found this program, she signed up, she made strategic videos, specifically ranked videos, which would be a video you post today that keeps getting views for weeks, months, and years to come. But it's also not so simple. I think one of the things you're hitting on too is intent. When someone is searching for certain videos, they actually are looking to make a purchase. And so one of the reasons people struggle with affiliate marketing is maybe they just put affiliate links in their vlog, but people are watching the vlog just for entertainment or some other piece of information, as opposed to no, I'm trying to make a buying decision, find a raised garden bed that is going to last. And then even the different, you're treating this like a professional. You're not just dabbling in this. And the fact you created a video that was a 1 year later, I just can imagine how much buyer confidence that gives. It's not just an unboxing. So even the types of videos you do and the amount of work and patience you put in, this didn't happen overnight, but $55,000 is crazy. And I do want to keep it moving, but if you are listening to this, Jacqueline has been a part of our Video Ranking Academy program for years, and we do have a free class. If you want to like learn more, like what is all this affiliate stuff and all of that, you can watch the class on demand after this podcast. If you go to thinkmasterclass.com, or we'll link that in the show notes, and break down more of this affiliate stuff, ranking stuff. But I'm also curious about the patient side, because what would you say from like first finding them to first posting videos, how long did it take to start seeing any revenue, let alone the significant revenue?
The first unboxing, we got a couple sales initially, but it took months before we started to really see anything significant, which didn't surprise me, because I think, again, kind of positioning that first video, a lot of people are unboxing and they're like, you have to buy this. This is the best thing ever. And I didn't. I said, hey, I'm trying this because backstory, I had bought another brand of beds that were metal, and within 18 months, they were absolutely falling apart from rust. So basically it was me saying to my community, like, I'm trying a different brand. I'm not happy with a brand that I had not done affiliate with. It just was like Amazon. I said, but I'm trying this other one. Everything I look at online and in the manuals looks good. So I have confidence that this could be good, but I don't know. I'm not sure. So I didn't position myself as like, I have blessed this product. So that was the first step, which also, like, imagine you're just watching that for the first time. I'm not like being like, yeah, spend $1,000. So you're going to walk away from that first video being like, but it helped make that 1 year review better, because I kept it very open to like, hey, maybe another brand's better. Maybe I should be trying that. And that's how I was able to start getting details from people about like, they didn't like the liners, or they were seeing problems with like screws with other brands and all sorts of other stuff, because they're like, don't try this brand. I've already tried this. Or some people said, yeah, I've done Vijayga. I've had them for a year. They're great. You should be good. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. So there was like definitely a long game. And I knew that one of the things I was interested in was like, where's the 1 year review? Where's the 5 year review people have? Like that. It's one thing for a company to be like, it lasts 20 years. Okay, prove it. Like, show me it's worked. And so
are you going to do, what's your next one? Will your next one be 2 years? Or are you going to do have you done one yet?
2 years last year.
Yeah.
It didn't perform as well because I think most people hit the 1 year and they're like, great,
sure,
good enough. But yeah, my plan is to do a 5 year one, because I think that's really important for people, because in theory, they should last 20 years. And what's really important, and this is like kind of the whole like, own what's different about you. So I live in an environment that is very rough on metal. It's hot, metal rusts when there's a lot of moisture and there's a lot of salt, which Florida has lots of. So we have lots of salt in our air from the ocean, and we have lots of we're the time. So if we're going to have rust, like it happens very fast here. And so for me, like, I'm like, hey, is it going to last 5 years? Like, I want to know that it's going to last 5 years, because also to me, and I think this is important, if you're going to do affiliate, is like, you need to protect your community. So at the end of the day, like if it comes out that all these beds rusted, like I would be 100% like, hey guys, don't buy it anymore. Because I want to make sure my community, like I'm earning the trust that I'm maintaining that trust with them. Because and I think they would understand that, like, I only know what I know, but if I know there's a problem, like I'm going to be sounding the alarms to say like, hey, it's not a good choice anymore. We have information that's new and different. And you want to make sure you have that trust, because if people feel like you're just selling so you can get money for them, that's not really a great relationship, right?
Well,
your home is your happy place until you come back to bad odors. Use Febreze plug-in. It has a microchip that alternates between 2 scents to fight odors and provide freshness for up to 50 days. Try Febreze plug.
McCormick, standing together for the future of flavor.
Oh, you just dropped multiple bombs that I think are some of the coolest things that I'm hearing. Unfortunately, the YouTube industry, the online marketing industry can get a really bad name, because in some cases, people are on just quick cash. They're going for a cash grab. They're just trying to make money. And at Think Media, we're trying to have entirely different values. One, the fact you said, like, you need to protect your community. Like, affiliate marketing done ethically is creating a win-win-win. So, like, of course, a win for ultimately the end user that's going to get a product, a raised garden bed that works for them, doesn't rust, they love it. That's going to create a win for the brand because they made a sale and that small business, is growing. But then you as well, you're funding, you're supporting your family. And so the mentality of like caring about your brand, and I would hope Think Media podcast listeners, I totally understand, like we're anxiously wanting to go full time as soon as we can or grow our businesses, but just having that long game mentality, that's another word I love that you use, and focusing on the trust you're building. That's really all you have. I mean, you might be able to make money this week or this month, but if it's at the expense of trust, then you are eroding the long-term opportunity of your brand. One of our core values at Think Media is built to last. And so we try to, every decision we make decisions through that framework and that core value of, are we building to last or are we making short-term decisions? And then own what's different about you.
What I was going to say, Sean, is that I think kind of in that vein, like you have to show that you're doing that. So I had videos with that other brand, even though it was like an Amazon affiliate. When I realized it was a problem, I actually did a 18-month review of that product with its name, worked on ranking that video. And then what I did is I went back through all my videos and I removed the affiliate link because I didn't want people buying that bed. And that's kind of the thing, is like people could see that, like, you have to show them that you're willing to take the hit for them, because it's more important that you are giving them the information or pointing them towards stuff that you trust. And when you find out, that's why I said, like, when you find out that maybe there's a problem, because sometimes you just don't know what you don't know, is that you are making the action. So I did make a ranking video for the other brand that basically said, don't buy this. This is a bad idea. And let me show you exactly why.
Well, I just want to acknowledge you, Jacqueline, too. That is actually like the extra mile of your ethics and your integrity, because I think what some do is at the bottom of the pyramid of integrity would be like, they promote products that are actually bad and they're being deceptive. I think what most do, though, is they just go silent. Like what they do instead, like, and this happens, there's a lot of, especially in like crypto or the personal finance YouTubers and stuff, sometimes they're like, okay, maybe they promoted something that was sketchy, but they just stop talking about it. But maybe they leave the links in their old videos, they leave stuff up. But I just want to really acknowledge your character to then say, no, actually, I want to be vocal, because the effort of you making a video to say, hey, these beds aren't good, they will rust, will be the anti-sale. You're protecting people, but you're not going to make any money. Right. You don't want to, because you don't want to sell the thing that's going to rust. But anyways, that's just very powerful. But I think it speaks to not only where you are now, but just where you're going to be in the future. I was talking to Elliot on our team in our Slack DMs about just some of the people that, create content and sell courses and whatnot. And he was sort of shocked by the way one person was doing it. And I said, yeah, at least as much as possible, I think media, we're trying to do things differently. And we want to be, the big idea is like, I want to be here in 5 to 10 years. I want to be here longer than that. I want to be here in 25 years. And so even if short term you make less or have a short-term pain, the trust, longevity of your brand is going to be connected to making these hard decisions. So that's a really powerful decision that you made. So as we keep going, I am curious that this idea of affiliate marketing in a specific niche, for creators listening, maybe business owners, they want to earn extra streams of income, but they might not be in gardening. How might they go about finding similar high-paying affiliate opportunities in their niche? What steps would you recommend they do?
Well, first, and I think this is going to become important when you go to sell, because like I said, I'm not someone who likes to sell, is first I like to look at, what do I use? Because the easiest thing to sell is the thing that you're just like at the grocery store or talking to your neighbor or talking to someone and being like, oh, you have that problem? Oh, you should get fill in the blank. So thinking through like what kind of things you use, and then put focus on like, so make a list of that and then focus on like, what are the higher ticket items? Especially because in the beginning, we all are typically not volume channels. We're not going to have like millions and millions and millions of views coming through or millions and millions of people clicking to buy. So it's those higher ticket items, because you don't have to sell a lot to start really making some money. Like you can make 10 sales and all of a sudden, boom, like it's hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars. So I think through it that way first. And then second, what companies do you trust with those higher ticket items would be my next question. And then do they have an affiliate? Now, if you're not sure or you're not brand loyal, but then the next thing is like, you want to go and check and do some research. Like, is anyone else affiliated with them? / are there reviews out there that maybe are making you question? Because I think it's both sides. Like, you want to look at for the good stuff, like, oh, they have great commission, but like also is there some stuff out there that maybe it's putting a stink on it? Like, maybe I don't want to associate me with that. Because that's some of the things that I found interesting, not necessarily with affiliate, but in other aspects, talking to fellow YouTubers, is that how many people are willing to sign up their brand themselves and like put a stamp of approval on something when it's like, but like, what if it's not good? Like, what if it's bad? Like, what if there's people who aren't like trying to do the right things? Like, you've just like told your whole community it's great, and you've like aligned your brand with it at the end of the day. So I think that's the other things to think about is research, see what you can find out there. Good, bad, or ugly.
Tax Act knows taxes can be confusing, so we've got experts, live human experts, to talk to if you get stuck. Or if you just, want to shoot the breeze about deductions and dependents and stuff. Tax Act. Let's get them over with.
50% off spring fades at Michael's. Save on floral and decor to level up your space with the latest trends.
Good, bad, or ugly, not just good.
It's like a little mini masterclass. What do you personally use? Make a list of that. And then are there any higher ticket items on the list? 2, 3, what companies do you trust already? 4 or 3, I don't know. And then do they have an affiliate program? And you can always Google, like the tips would be search the brand name and the word affiliate program, or the brand name and the word associate program, or the brand name and referral program. There could be different things. And then do your research. Yeah, are there other YouTube videos of people already promoting this product? You can kind of gauge interest that way. Are there other reviews out there? And find some opportunities in your niche. One of the channels I want to start, and I've got plenty to do, so I'm not really doing this. Like, what do I use? I'm personally obsessed with just kind of biohacking stuff and high performance to try to make it and be peak energy for being a dad and being a CEO and being a content creator. And so I'm into stuff like red light panels, and someday I'm already looking as I clean out my garage to get like a infrared sauna and things like that. These things are not cheap. And so I'm thinking about a YouTube channel related to that. Now, many listening might not relate, but it's like, do you have an expensive hobby? Do you have something you like to ski? You like to golf? Being an affiliate for some of these golf clubs, like, that driver, a couple $100s, thousands, depending on, it's interesting. And, those become higher ticket items, and people might want to see a review, a comparison. So that could lead to a strategy for your channel. Now, today, you've got a couple different income streams. What percentage of YouTube income comes from affiliate marketing at large, from all different types of programs you're a part of? And then what are your other income streams? And roughly, how does the pie break down?
So my three major kind of streams is YouTube AdSense, not in order. I'll give you the percentages in a second. So YouTube AdSense, affiliate, and then personal product. And last year it was about 45% was coming from my own products. And then about 30% was affiliate. And then the rest was YouTube, and then some other this and that. I'll call it the bits and bobs.
So maybe 25%-ish AdSense and other. No, that would have been the wrong math.
Yeah, I'll give you the numbers. 45% personal product, 30% affiliate, 26% YouTube. And then anything that's not in those three numbers is just other things.
Got it. And so affiliate marketing, very significant, and more so than others. And I think because, again, you figure out how to rank videos plus a higher ticket affiliate program. But let's keep it going. Like,
I would also say it's the lowest effort one, because I only put out a couple videos a year, maybe 2 or 3 videos a year related to it. So I don't typically call to action to that link. It's really only through videos I'm trying to rank as part of like the full big picture of how people think through raised garden beds. That's basically it. And then everything else is much more effort.
Yes, and that's the power of ranked videos. It truly is passive income, meaning videos you've made months ago or years ago are still being found and watched. So by low effort, effort couldn't really be lower. Like, as far as like today's effort is like 0, and tomorrow's effort, because of work you did yesterday, that's bringing in passive income, correct?
Yes.
Now, you've brought up a subject that we recently just had a YouTube mastermind in Las Vegas. About 65 people just got back from that event. It was really cool. And it was interesting. We were talking a little bit about this concept of YouTube funnels. I don't think anybody talks about this really. And kind of the idea that funnels are typically like, okay, you're somewhere on the web like YouTube, and then you send somebody to a landing page and there's something free that you give them. And then eventually maybe you offer them a product that you have products like gardening planner and some other things. Some people have online courses, but a YouTube funnel is kind of this idea of like a journey of videos on YouTube itself. And this is also tied into deeper education around raised garden beds. Can you explain like kind of how you thought through this and what this idea is? It's very unique. And in the YouTube education space, it's rare for people to maybe hear something they've never heard before. And I'm thinking that our listeners probably has like never heard this before. Like it's pretty cool to have, this kind of at least concept that I think can help us all think bigger, think different, and maybe really tap into an opportunity for us personally on the Think Media podcast. So explain kind of what your thinking was in regards to this idea of a YouTube funnel.
Yeah. So the idea was is that usually when people talk about sales funnels, right, you have someone with some sort of problem and you have something to sell to them that's going to help solve that problem. And then there's the kind of the journey. You guys aren't familiar with funnels. And then there's the journey of slowly helping them understand the problem, the solutions to the problem, and then why your specific product can solve the problem and it meets all the solution needs. So I kind of took that idea as like, okay, there's people out there who are they're just thinking about raised garden beds. So I started to reverse from like, okay, so if someone is about to buy this Vajayga bed, what's the video they probably watched before they landed on the website? And then what's the video before that? And then the video before that. And I basically outlined a multi-year funnel where I'm continuing to slowly add videos that make their way from I have a problem. So the first step is, so the final steps is basically, I know I want to buy Vajayga, but I don't know, like, should I? Like, they're more looking for confirmation that they should hit that buy button. But before that, they, for some reason, thought metal beds. So that's the next step up. It's like Vajayga is the answer to this is a good metal bed. So before that, they're trying to figure out what do I need to look for in metal beds, which was the video I ranked last year, which was kind of the best tips about metal beds, where it wasn't about the brand. It was really just like, here are all the features you should be looking for, no matter what brand you're looking for. And then at the end, it's like, hey, if you want the bed that like meets all of these and you don't have to like spend a bunch of time doing research, here's the brand. I would suggest go watch that video, or you can just go straight to the link. But then before that, which is a video I just recently released, they didn't even know if they wanted metal. They see people with wood beds, they see people with concrete beds, they see people with metal beds, and like, why should or shouldn't you buy those things? And so that's the more recent one I did, which is I did a material comparison, which is the pros and cons of each material. And so it's just slowly stepping them through based on that journey. And I have more that are kind of either in the same step or actually further out that would continue that idea. And every step of the way, like that's one of the things I'm really proud of with the material video is like, I set it up that it doesn't matter which material they end up with at the end of the day. I'm just trying to help people figure out what's best because I'm really passionate. I really get excited about, I'm an engineer by background. So I get excited talking people through kind of what they should be thinking through, because a lot of people will tell you in the gardening world, like wood's the best, but for Floridians, it's not. And I know a lot of Floridians get very frustrated because they buy wood beds, which is where my kind of experience is because we have termites. We have termites so bad, those things are gone in about a year. But in other locations, woods can be a really good choice. So I was really proud of like trying to give that very balanced view to kind of help people think through. And then at the end of the video, it's kind of like, hey, if metal ended up being the choice, like the thing you think is going to work best for you, kind of going through this whole story, now go check out this video that's going to help you pick metal. Go figure out the things you need for metal. And so it's all about building trust. And at the end of the day, most people who are watching these videos will not click my link to go buy a bed. But it's going to help a lot of people. And maybe one day they'll see something else that I'm doing and they like it, or maybe they won't. Most of them won't, and that's okay. But what makes me feel good is like I've helped people on that journey make better choices so they don't end up with beds that like rusted or wasted a bunch of time on wood that's going to rot here or whatever it's going to end up being. So that's kind of how I think through it.
Yeah, I love that. And that is, we were talking about the 5 levels of awareness, and that's kind of what you're at our event recently. And that's sort of what you're talking about as well. Like, where are they at? Do they already know a product name related to their, that they're researching maybe 2 different raised garden bred brand names? Are they back just really early? They're generally unaware of the types of metals and everything, and creating videos at every stage of the 5 levels of awareness can actually expand the opportunity, and then leading people on YouTube itself through this journey. And like you said, you know, the thing with affiliate marketing is, of course, a lot of people will maybe watch a video and not end up, they still might purchase a product, but they don't click your link. But how many more people, how many people will ultimately over the years? And you're getting AdSense. You're sending them on a journey, and it's also tracking all the way back to that purpose-driven vision of actually helping people. Like, you're able to do this full time, make a living, scale your income up a little bit, but like truly help and serve people and improve people's lives in the process. So it's such a cool thing that we get to do as creators. When did you reach monetization? Do you remember when that happened? And take us back to where you were, what you were doing in like your day-to-day life. And maybe let's go a little bit further back. When did this channel start for you?
Started September 2019 is when I started officially.
So in September 2019, you start, what was your life circumstances, and how did you figure out you're starting a channel from scratch? What's happening in your life, family, and how did you find the time to get started, and what did that look like?
So 2019, and I tell this to people I used to work with, because people thought, like, because I didn't talk about the fact that I had a YouTube channel for years there, so it just seemed like it came out of nowhere, and they're like, oh. So in 2019, early 2019, something happened at work where I had thought I was going to work for the company for the rest of my life until I retired, and then I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And so thus became a 6-month exploratory exercise of what do you want to do? If it's not this, then what? And I eventually, so my best friend, actually, fun fact, I said this to my husband, and he didn't even know this. I was like, the way I got my job at the factory was actually because I helped make movies in college. And it was basically project management. So a lot of people didn't know that about me, that's how I actually got an engineering job. So I basically thought I really want to help people help Florida's wildlife and its ecosystems, but from their garden. And because that's the most like attainable way. And a lot of people in Florida weren't born here, so they don't really know that like there's a lot of decisions they're making that are probably having a negative impact on our ecosystem, and they're not meaning to do anything wrong. It's just, they just don't know what they don't know. So that's kind of where it started. I joined VRA January 2020 because I had been following along with Think videos, and I was like, so I'm one of those people, you might be one of these people out there, you pick up things and then you drop them. So I was like, hey, you got to like consistently do this before you put out money for like a course or a community or anything. So after I'd done it from September to January, I was like, okay. I looked at my husband, I'm like, are we in? He's like, we're in. And so this was like the beginning of the plan. At the same time, I'm working full-time in the factory. January 2020, you remember, March 2020, everything shuts down. I work in a food factory, so I'm an essential worker. So there was no like, I get to hang out and watch like, I guess, what was it, Tiger King or all that stuff. I don't know, I heard lots of stuff. But like my job was to get as much food out the door for you guys because all the shelves were cleared. And so there were lots of panic calls from lots of executives about like, how can we get more out the door? And of course, like people are being quarantined, but not really in my department. Actually, we were really good about staying clean and safe. So we put out a lot of food for you guys. So you're welcome. But at the same time, I'm releasing like 2 videos a week, like a crazy person. And then I got monetized. I think it was almost about a year to the day was about when I got monetized. It was like late September. And then I started to make like, all that AdSense. You making like $10, $20 in the beginning. I will say one of the surprising things that I learned is gardening can have a pretty good RPM compared to like a lot of other niches. Like sometimes I have like low-end finance channel type RPM, which was kind of a surprise. So I mostly worked on AdSense in the beginning. And then fast forward, I joined Inner Circle, I think like a year or 2 later, which was for OGs who've been around, that's what preceded VRA Elite. It was the Elite version back then, and now Elite's the thing that I'm in now. So, but that whole time for the first 3 years of YouTube, I was working full time in the factory. So I worked a minimum 10 hours a day, lots of weekends, holidays, took lots of calls in the middle of the night, 36-hour breakdowns, super fun times. So that's what I used to do. And then I'd run home and I'd try to film something and I'd edit and get it out the door.
iPhone 16e has a durable design and ceramic shield because the average person drops their phone 208 times a year. Make that 209 once they see the price. iPhone 16e, latest iPhone, greatest price.
Man, your story is so inspiring. And I think what I love is like, it's kind of like no excuses. Like you figured it out, you were hustling. I want to go to 2 videos a week. And then in some of our previous conversations, you're working full time in a factory. You're still pumping out 2 videos a week. I also like the idea that like once you'd invested in this for a while, I know that for some, when they think about, maybe they've been listening to the podcast, they've been on the fence about Video Ranking Academy, like, and they haven't posted a video. Many people love jumping in because they have guidance from day one. But for others that maybe you've already under your belt is 1, 2, 3, 4 months of being on YouTube. Like, I love that you and your husband talked like, hey, okay, this is happening. Like we are committed to this. So now this investment into the channel is just doubling down on something like, we're already doing. So you are posting consistently for 4 months. You joined Video Ranking Academy, but you're posting 2 videos a week. Take me through the day to day. I know that also, but take me back to like maybe listening in your car and learning, editing on your phone while also raising your kids. Like what does a day look like to actually get 2 videos out a week? And then also, are people overthinking the videos? Like how, the production value of you making these videos with your smartphone, what did that all look like?
Yeah. So at the time, I worked about 10 hours a day. That was like just a normal day. There were many days longer, but most days were just like 10. But I had about an hour commute to work. So I used to just like put on my courses and I would just listen, or I'd listen to whatever video you guys had put out that week as I kind of went in and then went out. So that would be part 1. I shot very simple videos. I still shoot pretty simple videos. There's some fanciness happening out there, and bless all of you who do that. I'm not that lady. I'm just running around with my little phone. And so one for y'all, today, full time, I still just use my phone. I just use iMovie, no fanciness. I'm not doing anything crazy. At that time, so I took advantage of the car rides for sure. For those who don't work in like high hustle type factories, like I didn't have lunch break. Like if I ate lunch, that was like a good day, but like let alone like I'm going to sit down and do anything that's related to this. So once I hit work, which a lot of people who've met me over the years are like, why do you release your videos at 6:45 a.m. Friday? And I was like, because that's when I hit the parking lot and I could confirm it was live right before I walked in the gate. And then I wouldn't look at it again until, 5 o'clock in the evening. So I did that. And then editing in the beginning, I think the first year and a half, maybe 2 years, I edited on my phone. And the reason I could do that was like my kids were little. My kids are still little, but they were really little. So I could sit on the couch with them. We'd watch, Bluey play Keepy Uppy for the 700th time. So, like I got all the main points of what's happening. So at the same time, I'm on my phone, just like making all my little edits and making stuff happen. And you might think like, and I think that at the time, like just getting stuff out there was really good because I started to learn what people were looking for, what they needed. vidIQ can point you in directions when you're super niche down like I am. It can point you so far, and then I need to hear from people like what's going on. So I started sharing my stuff into certain Facebook groups, very small Facebook groups, and getting feedback from people about like what they were looking for, what they were still have questions on. But at that time, I still ranked videos. My top video, even to date, actually came from like April 2020 because it ranked for search. And it still gets, hundreds of views every single day. So I did that. I did 2 videos a week. And I did 2 videos a week pretty much up until last year. And then I did a lot of data analysis and then I pulled back to 1 a week. one public video. I'll clarify. I have a members video that comes out every week, but just one public video. But in the beginning, just getting stuff out was like just one, reminding myself how to edit. Two, just all the things there's so many details. You just have to practice. Yeah. And by just having stuff and just going through it, that's what I did at the time, just getting stuff out. And honestly, out in a crazy way, like you might think it would stress me out more. It actually took away a lot of stress from me because I was someone who liked to do creative stuff. And being an engineer, once I started my full-time job, like the whole creative, anything artistic really stopped. So it was kind of a way I got to do some creative stuff. And two, interestingly, at that time, some of the feedback I was getting from boss people was very counter to what was happening on YouTube. So like I got a feedback that like, you can't communicate well to people. And I was like, really? There's 10,000 people who would disagree with you. They didn't know that, but I would think it in my head. So I would be like, you know what? It's fine. I'm not getting fired over anything. Maybe I won't get a promotion, but who cares? Like, I'm still doing fine. Everything's fine. I have a path to like get out of doing the factory stuff. So it's okay.
Every bottle of McCormick is flavor sealed. For fresh flavor, everyone notices. Visa uses state-of-the-art fraud protection worldwide. So no matter where in the world you are, you can be the traveler you want to be. Trusted security right by your side.
Like get out of doing the factory stuff. So it's okay.
So I love these insights. Like you turned your car into a YouTube university.
Yeah.
For anybody that is, commuting, it's like you have a